store.
Who've been trying to save people
Cappuccino latte. I don't know where the hell it is.
Rescue teams trying to locate those buried under the snow.
Hey, we're up.
After a second avalanche hits.
I'm tired of that.
Dispatched to try to find two
Being up.
missing.
I want to be down.
One man was
Stop taking your medication.
for some 25 minutes before he managed to dig himself out and escape. Walked toward a village before he was spotted and picked up. Tom Rivers, ABC News.
Do you miss it, Doc?
Working?
Yeah.
No, I was so burned out.
You don't miss patience and.
A little bit, but I spent so many hours doing what I was doing.
Not that you're on call all the time.
I was on call 24/7.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, because you're a daddy doctor. You're a mommy doctor.
And because I was in solo practice.
But Mark, I love your
what was
Brian's
percentage
ideas of
natural
the cabinets
versus,
he showed me,
C-sections?
doing creams and like grays
I
and
did about
silvers
20%
and stuff.
C-sections.
That gets me excited.
Good.
I would have thought that. I thought you would have had a higher percentage.
No. That's partially because us old guys know how to use forceps, and the young kids don't.
Yeah, no, I would assume it's something like
Higher
that.
to begin clog dancing. Okay, there's no magic music, but skills tests.
Did we, just a thought, did we ever get any information from that guy whose mother stopped getting her checks?
We have an officer.
Did he just say that again?
Remember there was a guy that Richard called his...
Just go to Google real quick.
No, his name was Mark. His mom she stopped getting her sensitive checks.
Oh no, I didn't.
How's the Springs going for?
I haven't seen anything. I can't remember how that ended and stuff.
Well, yeah, he was supposed to send some stuff.
No, I didn't see anything.
You never saw anything.
I didn't see anything unless Suzanne got something.
Let me think about it. So KCOL.
Let me ask her.
Says the boy never returned. I think it's for KCL radio right there. I just want to make sure.
You on Google, sister?
Yeah, this is it. So this is Fort Collins. Yep, this is it. It's iHeart. On Saturday, here's what we're going to be doing. So Monday through Friday we do our show. I'm going to grab the best segments, very entertaining segments throughout the week. We're going to put together a 2-hour kind of best of, if you will. But they'll change each week. It's not going to be one show. It's going to be literally best segments.
Right.
So then Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon, we're going to be running. And it's so fucking cheap, it's stupid. So we would do 2 commercials for you per week. So one the first hour, one the second. I'd even do 130, 160, whatever works. It doesn't even matter because we're going to end up loading the inventory. I mean, you're looking at 500 a month tops. So you want
Okay, Dan, Suzanne got some stuff.
I'm just
Try and see what happens, man. You know?
Yeah, that's what
Track it.
I don't, because Denley Springs, man, we should do some special commercials.
That's what I'm saying. Tell me what you want to
No
do.
extra cost, just let me know.
Right. Let's do some.
You know what they
specials?
I'll tell you what I get.
You email me or text me, I'll do it.
Decks. The biggest questions I have coming out of Colorado Springs is decks and patios, decks, that kind of shit. Not necessarily this time of year.
And we're not as good down there for that kind of stuff. It's more going to be the roofing, siding, windows, and painting.
Okay.
Well,
just
send me
an email what you want to do there.
Okay.
By the way, I'm ready for paint whenever you want to get your guys going. Although I don't know temperature-wise if we should.
Let's wait till March.
Okay.
March or April.
Hey, Mark,
roof is done. It's beautiful. Good. It's that F-wave. It's like plastic this thick.
Right.
Strong as fucking nails.
Yes, I understand.
Right.
Mark, did you get that deal rescinded with that 83-year-old guy with his...
No, I'm in contact with the right people. Hopefully I hear something from them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So this will be good. And here's the cool part about it. It's really good content. So if they're driving around in Fort Collins during the day, I think once people know that show's on 10 to noon, we're going to have, for a Saturday show, I think we're going to have a hell of a good following.
Okay.
It's not, because everything else is infomercials.
Right.
Buy this product.
Right. Like what it's on 6:30 now and Saturday morning is that real estate guy and then the lawyer, right?
Boring.
The home improvement guy, he got moved to the afternoon.
Who is he?
What's his name?
Oh, I like him.
You work with them.
Yeah.
I don't agree with everything he says, but
Right, neither do I.
but people love him.
He's been around forever.
And he seems to know everything about home.
He's in. He's on our affiliate in the Springs too. Saturdays.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. Put Martino in the coupon place there, the coupon code Martino, and you get 20% off for the month of February, 20% off. RealCBDThatWorks.com. It is real. They have a beautiful lab in Golden, and they have products that you can rely on and trust with true CBD, anti-inflammatory, pain, anxiety. Sometimes they have the sleep formulation. It's realcbdthatworks.com. What's on your mind? So many people are talking about the speech last night. And, you know, it's just so weird how this country is divided, right? The economy is great. We are doing great economically. If you talk to people, however, some people, you think the country is on the brink of collapse. And I don't think they're talking economically. I think they're saying there's never been more hate. But where's that hate coming from? I mean, you know, if we just talk about that as hatred, I have never seen more vehement opposition or disagreement ever in my life. I mean, it used to be you could disagree without being, God, what is it? It's toxic. And each side is blaming the other for being toxic. Did you see? Everyone's talking about ripping up the speech. The other one is the handshake that was offered, and then I don't think he actually saw it really.
He didn't see it.
I think he took it and just turned around. Who knows?
Yeah, I think he saw it, and he saw the corner of his eye, and he kept turning around. In
my
opinion,
Who knows? Who knows? Here's the deal. Why?
I think he got one look at her and got scared.
Why do you think? And here's what I want to know. Where is there more hatred being spewed?
On the left.
Why do you say that?
Because I don't like him.
Yeah. Okay.
All you have to do is look at the speech that Ashley Judd gave about the White House, about a nasty woman, about wanting to bomb the White House. That was the most contentious, angry speech you're ever going to see, and that was right after he got elected. And it just snowballed from there.
Well, I'm talking about hatred. I don't know why there's hatred. Let's talk to Barry about his botched surgery. By the way, we have a doctor here, retired doctor, as one of our deputies, and he will examine you free of charge if you come to the station. I'm just kidding. Okay, really, though, our number is 303-713-TALK while we're on the air, and that is from 10 to 2 Mountain Time, which is noon to 4 Eastern Time. Now, it's very important that you know you can call 303-MARTINO 24/7 and get a result. We will call you back. So, Barry, what's going on? I mean, you know, this is a good topic because most cases are not medical malpractice or not worth pursuing in medical malpractice. However, it has been done successfully when it truly is medical malpractice. What's going on, Barry?
Well, this is my question. Picture this, if you would. A partially disabled man has a fall. This is back in April of 17, when I fell and I bruised my spinal cord, and I was basically totally disabled for a while. I had 3 surgeries.
Barry, how old are you? How old are you?
Well, I'm 70 years old right now, and that's important.
Okay, and you bruised your spinal cord, and when...
That was what the doctors, the diagnosis.
Right, and then what happened after that?
Well, the medical team that I was working with did 3 surgeries. The third one...
Well, hold on. Did they tell you needed 3 surgeries, or did you go in for 1 and then they had to do more? Explain. I'm trying to get to the bad part. You had surgery to fix the spinal cord or to do something there. Is that why you had the surgery?
Yes, to take pressure. The surgery was on my vertebrae to take pressure off the nerves.
Okay. Surgery to take pressure off the nerves, and then what? Did you know you were going to have 3 surgeries?
Well, after I fell, and I was in the hospital for a while and in rehab for quite a while. The surgeons were coming up. They were trying to take pressure off the spinal cord to relieve the problem.
I get it, Barry. And they did 3 surgeries. I guess I'm asking why 3?
Well, they did.
Okay. If you don't know, that's fine. So you had 3 surgeries. Then what? Where is the botch surgery? Was it the first, second, or third?
Well, it was the third one. This happened on February 8th of 18. That's an important date.
Okay. Okay.
After the surgery, I had no voice. What you're hearing now is basically is better than what it was for about a year.
You know, Barry, I was gonna make a joke and ask you about your voice when you said you had a bad spinal cord, and then I said, and did they ruin your voice? I was gonna joke about that, and are you telling me that after surgery your voice got this way?
Yes.
Why?
And the reason for it is the last surgery I did was in the vertebrae, cervical area, I want to say 5 and 6, which is close to the vocal cords.
Oh, did they go in,
process,
Barry? Did they go in from the front or the back?
Front.
So they did surgery through the front to get to your spinal cord.
Correct. Get to the vertebrae, which they fused.
Doc, you've seen that before, right? That where they go in from the front?
Yeah.
Is that easier to get to those?
It depends on the situation.
On the location.
Yeah.
Okay. So where would they go through? Right, the throat, literally, or around it?
Around it.
Oh, okay. So then what happened, Barry? You got out of surgery, and you said at first you had no voice at all.
No, I was speaking in a whisper.
Okay, and you thought
I would say maybe a year and a half.
Okay, did the doctors say this was going to be one of the risks?
No, and this is one of the things, this medical team had done some surgeries over the years with me, and you sign a gazillion bunches of paper.
Of course.
But my wife and I never remember being advised that, oh, by the way, this surgery could cause you problems with your voice.
No, I understand. So you say that you signed a lot of papers and there were a lot of things in there. Do you recall if there was anything specifically about affecting your voice?
No.
You don't know, or you don't recall?
No, I don't recall anything at all in my
with
the appointments.
Did you talk to other doctors, Barry? Did you ask other doctors, is this a normal consequence, or did something go wrong? Did you ask other doctors, Barry?
Well, I've been referred to other physicians that were working. I had 3.
Did any doctor? Here's what I need to know. It's a very simple answer, Barry. It's yes or no. Did any other doctors tell you that you lost your voice because of that surgery?
Yes.
Okay. And did they say it should not have happened?
Well, they never did really say, I guess.
They say it's connected, but they don't say the other. Did anyone say your original doctor did a bad job?
No.
Okay, hold on, Barry. Hold on. This would fall under malpractice, and frankly, it's got to be malpractice. Just because something happens doesn't mean it's malpractice. However, in this case, I'm not sure. He's not sure. Let's find out what he was told. So far, he hasn't had anyone say it was malpractice.
He seems to be improving as well.
That's true, too. And malpractice does depend a lot on injury, and injury doesn't always have to be permanent. But if it's not substantial and long-lasting, it cuts down the feasibility of a malpractice suit.
Make as much as $1,000 in as little as 10 days. He is Mark.
unless I'm listening to something specific or I'm saying something where I go, just do it. In other words, you can just say, by the way, break in. The only time, because I'll let you know if I'm in the middle of something, but like then, because then then I'll just stop talking when you start. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you just break in.
Yeah, that guy's boring.
Yeah.
Tom, do you remember a guy named Tracy? Looks like Duck Dynasty, has his long beard. He said he worked on your house a long time ago, back when you were married. Holly.
I think he's blocked out those 10 years, to be quite honest.
He said he had dinner with you even at your house.
It's possible.
Hey, do we have letterhead?
Huh?
Do we have letterhead?
I have letterhead, but not on paper. Mile High Estate Planning. That's the place to go for estate planning. So, that's easy to remember. MileHighEstatePlanning.com. It's truly something that you need to do. And what I love about Blake Harris is he dumbs it down. We can all understand him. Blake Harris, attorney at law, always free consultations. He's near Union Station. But he also has offices in Boulder and Colorado Springs. He'll make night and weekend appointments as well. He has the great system where he goes through everything that you may need or want. He'll explain it to you, and then you decide what to do, and you come up with a plan together. It's all about protecting assets and also about making it easy to pass on property. He does prenups and postnups. He'll do probate or help you avoid probate. It's all about planning, and he does it well. MileHighEstatePlanning.com.
Ooh, it's restaurant week, gentlemen.
You a fan of that?
Fuck, dude, I'll book them. We'll eat out every day.
What's that?
Restaurant week. Del Frisco's, for example.
You love
Filet, jumbo shrimp, crab cakes.
You know, we end up doing it and not using it.
I do that all the time.
When we get there, we just end up eating.
See, she'll definitely get this, though, because North Atlantic salmon.
How much? How much is that?
Oh, I'm looking at Del's. $45, man.
Yeah.
So you get the filet,
We're there.
you get the appetizer, and you get a dessert. At Del's, usually that 45 would be 120, maybe.
Let's do that for my birthday.
And they got the Atlantic salmon you like.
We have a CenturyLink Angel,
Okay.
so I'm going to send it to them.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Ah, choice of cheesecake with strawberry. I'm not
I
on
need
any
cheesecake.
carbs. So.
I know. But we can still go. We don't have to have cheesecake. We can give that to Addie.
No, I'll sell it.
Hey, dude, you want my cheesecake?
Hey, what are they trying to charge you for that cheesecake? Alright, let's see here. Reserve a table.
Are you doing keto?
Yeah, we're almost 2 weeks, man. I've had, and I'm not exaggerating, probably, I'm trying to think the exact day we started. Sunday.
I was working fine yesterday.
10, 12 days, 11
It lights up, but my screen doesn't. Can you try to get it to light up? I depend on it for the show.
Yeah, just close it. 12 days. So 12 days, I have probably had 60 carbs total. And those were on Super Bowl Sunday. I had 4 beers that were 3.5 apiece. That was probably the only day that I had like over 3. And I also had some stuffed mushrooms. Super Bowl, I probably had about 40 carbs.
Yeah, there's some fruits and vegetables that have carbs in them too.
I don't eat any of that shit.
So what are you eating? Just meat?
Last night I had, okay, you'll love this. I had scrambled eggs, bacon, and sausage. Night before I had chicken. Night before I had a hamburger with bacon.
No bun.
And then on top of that, Mark, here's what I'm doing too, man. I'm doing yoga 3 or 4 times a week, and then him and I play racquetball on Wednesdays. My goal is 15 pounds in 3 weeks. I'm 12 days into it. I'm about 6.5 pounds down. And now the keto's going crazy. When I piss, you can smell it a mile away, man. You like that?
Ketosis?
Yeah.
I did it for 2 weeks.
I think it's 150, whatever that means. Our strips only go up to 160. I'm registering 150 constantly. I think 160 means you're going to die or something. I don't know.
What is strips? I've never used strips.
You piss on them and it tells you what level you are.
Keto strips.
Oh, I've never seen those.
So you're doing intermittent fasting?
No.
Oh, plus I only eat once a day. We only eat after 4 o'clock.
You should do intermittent fasting.
And you get so sick of hamburgers and Yeah.
Are you just blaring Culture Club on the way to yoga?
Yes, I love Culture Club. Come a chameleon. And then we only eat once a day. And the other cool part about keto is once you're a week into it, your calorie count starts going down too because you're sick and tired of fucking meat and cheese. I'm already done with cheese.
I did it for 2 weeks. So as my goal was 3. I couldn't go the third week. I felt
How much did you drop in 2?
I did like 8 pounds.
Over the weekend, I just got out of the depression Monday. After about 7-8 days, man, I get depressed as fuck on it. And then, like, I snap right through it. I get lethargic, everything, but then I break through that.
Then you're actually the opposite. Then it gets great. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk. Barry says he lost his voice as a result of bad surgery. Barry, I don't want to strain your voice anymore. I'm just going to tell you a few things you need to do. The very first thing you need a diagnosis from a doctor. The doctor must say he believes it's malpractice before you can go anywhere. In Colorado, they have to have at least one doctor to say it's malpractice, and no attorney will even look at you unless you say that, unless you get a third party. And you also, Barry, have to have substantial damages. I don't know what your goal is, if it is to go after malpractice or just to get somebody who can fix it or whatever. So, Barry, you need to pursue the inquiry, is it malpractice? Barry?
Tom, I understand that, and I don't want you to think that I'm just filing the suit because of...
I'm not thinking anything. Listen, I want to dispel that right away. First of all, personal injury is personal injury. If somebody does wrong and owes you money, that's one thing. If someone botched up a surgery and you lost your voice, it's terrible. But you have to... So don't worry about what we think. So what is your goal?
This was my question. What happened, let me go forward. I finally got around to basically, I had 3 surgeries after this issue, after I lost my voice. I'm going under speech therapy right now, but in the process, I did contact an attorney, gave them all the information and such, and I got a notification from the attorney January 15th that they said, hey, we're not going to pursue this. You're on your own.
Well, okay, so that's because they don't think it's a good case.
Okay. My question was, though, that I've also got a 2-year statute of limitations.
Okay.
Which is coming up the 8th of this month. Well, I'm saying, do I have any legal recourse?
Well, I'm the wrong one to ask, Barry. Barry. Do you have legal recourse against the attorney? No, I don't think so. I mean, let's put it this way. How do I know? That's a legal question. You may, but you're wasting your time, Barry. I mean, if someone doesn't think it's a good case, or if you've been waiting, nothing was preventing you from consulting another attorney. Do you really believe that you have a case? Have you had anyone tell you it's malpractice? What makes you believe it's malpractice? Give me one thing that makes you believe it was the doctor's fault because he did something wrong.
Nobody told me that this could have been an outcome after that surgery.
I'll bet you. Well, maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't. You know what? Hold on. I just want to get a quick question. If it's not in the disclaimer, does that make it automatically covered because it's not in the disclaimer? Let's talk to Denver trial lawyers. I'd like to have a question, okay, just as a general question. He said it. No one told him that. But I think you still have to have the other elements. Rod, you want to know about CVT transmissions. And you know what? There is a lot of debate about CVT transmissions. And most of the debate is they're not good, okay? And I believe it stands for, I'm trying to figure out constant velocity or continuously variable transmission is what it is. And we're going to ask Jeff Vick at Kimmer Transmission to weigh in on this. More and more manufacturers have gone to this. Now, it also is known, and I'm reading this from Wikipedia, it's also known as a shiftless transmission or a pulley transmission. And what it does is it kind of has a continuous range. I'm trying to give a visual of gear ratios. It doesn't switch gears.
Almost like
it goes up and down a cone, doesn't it? Kind of like that. Anyway, hold on. Rod, did you have a specific question about it, or in your case, or are you just wondering about buying a car with it?
Wondering about buying a vehicle with it.
Okay.
All of many of the Asian manufacturers are going to that, and they're putting them on like the bigger SUVs.
You're right. So, Jeff Vick, first of all, with Kimmer Transmissions, can you explain and dumb it down for us? What is a CVT, or continuously variable transmission? What is it? How does it work?
They work very similar to, for those who are familiar with them, a snowmobile transmission. So you've got two opposing cones with a belt. It looks like a chain, but it's actually called a belt. It's flexible. And those cones will expand or constrict so that that belt will ride on higher or lower portions of those cones in order to create a gear ratio.
So the lower part of the cone is a higher or bigger gear.
Yeah, just depending on which cone is expanded or constricted at the time.
And then the littler ones are actually, so the littler ones toward the top. So that belt moves up and down on the cone.
Move back and forth. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and we don't have to know. We don't have to know about the intricacies, but in general, are CVT transmissions considered less reliable? How do other transmissions work in general if they don't have cones?
Other transmissions have different types of gear sets in them. So you apply a clutch and it will either hold or turn a particular gear in order to create a ratio.
Will it actually switch to another gear?
Correct. Yeah. So you'll get a transition, and that's what we call shift shock in between each individual one.
But with the cone and with the CVT transmission, you don't feel that kind of stuff up and down, do you?
No, and if you're more accustomed to a conventional transmission and you slide into a CVT, it will give you the illusion almost that it's slipping all the time.
Okay, are they dependable?
Comparatively to conventional transmissions, not just yet. They're getting better. Probably the best one on the market right now is Subaru. Now, that being said, when they do go down, those are also far more expensive to work on.
Okay, so Rod, any specific car you're looking at or question that you have on it?
No, I was looking at Subaru, but Honda's gone to CVTs, Subaru's gone to CVTs, Toyota's gone to CVTs with their Corolla. I mean, the industry seems to be going to the CVT, and if you're driving up and down the mountains all the time, if you've got belts and cables and stuff, those are going to stretch, and I don't know that they're built for the long haul.
And don't forget that belt, it's not like a rubber belt. So you mentioned stretching. Yeah, they can wear out, but you're not going to get a rubber component that's literally stretching and becoming larger.
So it is really a smoother transmission, I'm told, and I read about. They say it's very smooth.
They are very, very smooth, yes. Like I said, you don't get that shift shock or that transition as you're accelerating or decelerating, so you have a constant power band.
Does it take any special maintenance?
No. The maintenance would be similar to a conventional transmission, changing fluids and whatnot, just like you would any other unit.
So do you have real stats, in your head? Do they break down more? Are you saying they break down more, or they're just harder to fix when they do break down?
Well, they are breaking down less than they used to. They are becoming more reliable.
Okay.
Now, that being said, there are very few transmission shops out there that will actually open one up. They're just buying units.
Okay.
So when it goes down, you can plan on a high-dollar ticket.
All right, Rod, it's like really anything. If it was maintained well and if it's built well and you keep it, you're going to have somewhat good luck, but it's a little less reliable from everything I'm finding online, a little less reliable than what we would call normal transmissions. So,
okay.
Good luck to you. 303-713-TALK.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown at 2, 630 KHOW.
That would be the thing to see, Tom.
Now, impact traffic.
But as you know, malpractice is way more than thinking.
Right, but if it's a known complication, then there's no malpractice. End of story.
Well, we've had the contrary happen where it was a known complication, but it was still botched. I mean, I don't know if you can say no question. I give the example of a guy signs something that says, I'm not responsible for any damage, injury, blah, blah, blah. He signs it, and then the guy who had him signs it punches him in the nose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's called egregious things. Well, we're going to have them up in a little while. Do you have a quick one I can do instead, just in case? All right.
So call your local Allstate agent today. Are you in good hands?
Thanks for being flexible. Sheridan Auto Tech is the reliable shop you can take your car to. We talk about cars all the time, and Uncle Kevin has been a source of expert information. I call him Uncle Kevin as a joke. He's the owner, and he is like a big, lovable uncle who'll take care of you. SheridanAutotech.com. Sheridan Auto Tech truly is a great shop, not only with years of experience, but they have knowledge and they have honesty and value. 303-455-7242 in Lakewood and in Aurora, 455-7242, SheridanAutotech.com.
Online platforms are becoming increasingly hostile, trying to bully and shame us conservatives and libertarians into silence. That's why I love caucusroom.com.
Mark, did you get on the Tesla roller coaster?
Oh, did you see that, bro? Oh, fuck no. I won't even touch Tesla. I think he's a lying sack.
Oh, tell me what happened.
Dropped 14%.
Oh, Tesla.
Remember, we were talking about shorting it yesterday. One guy says it might go down 65%, but...
It went, are you kidding me?
No, it dropped 14 plus today.
But the Falcon rocket stuff is amazing.
$132.
It's all amazing.
But still, it's 5 days.
If he wasn't a liar, I'd love him.
But the fact that they launch these rockets...
It's totally different.
It's got nothing to do with Tesla.
But they land those boosters.
When they come back down, dude, it almost looks like they just ran it in reverse.
Right on the target on the ship.
So it's still above
754.
Oh, I know, but it dropped 15%.
$132 today.
Yeah.
My son bought it yesterday, not yesterday, the day before, and it dropped $8 and he sold it. And if he had held it till yesterday, he could have made $100.
You mean he shorted it?
No, 2 days ago he bought it.
Oh, then it went up a little and he sold it.
So you look at the comments, a lot of people who says, "Oh, I'm buying a Tesla with all the money I've made on the stock." Those people are.
That's pretty good.
I have a stock that my friend told me about. It went down 14 points on
I've got different
Monday,
trial lawyers on for you.
and it went up
Dan
15
Sloan,
points on
he's a
Tuesday.
trip, man. But Barry, he says he has a consent form, but it's on a CD, and you'd have no idea how to get it. Blah 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 blah. So, but Dan's going to answer general questions for you.
Perry's or Fleming's?
We've never been to Fleming's.
Don't go.
Oh, really?
I have
nothing to
a
write
couple
home
bags
about.
He doesn't like it.
It's nothing to write home about at all.
Okay, but
Right.
Ocean Prime, I've never been to.
Oh,
I've been
wonderful.
That's great.
I've been
Wonderful
wanting to go there.
Is it good?
So
I don't know if you'll like it. I love it. I think you will.
They have steak.
Yeah.
Well, the kids eat
Oh, yeah.
something there.
Ocean Prime. We'll just look.
It's
I don't know.
wonderful.
Ocean Prime is great.
Oh,
But with the kids, we could go to
Which
Perry's
one,
and
guys?
you and I go to Ocean Prime.
which one?
All right, let's do that.
Downtown?
The one downtown is good. I haven't been to the one in
This one right
Bellevue
here.
yet.
Right here. It's good. Good.
But the one in downtown is great.
It starts on the 20th.
And they, yeah, they're
Or
good.
actually, it's towards the end of the month.
Mark, you should do intermittent fasting. I'm serious. That to me is the absolute best thing. Just start out skipping breakfast. That's all you
It
do.
fucks with your blood. Well, it might not fuck with yours. It
Just
fucks with
eat
my
for
blood
4
sugar.
hours a day, right?
I probably eat at least for 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
When I go home, I eat a meal, then I wait, and I eat another one.
I don't now.
But that's not as amazing.
No, that's pretty good. If you only eat in a 4-hour window, that's definitely intermittent fasting.
I don't eat something before I work out.
No, not after a while.
It does take it takes a while to get used to it. Now I do have what was that? Not cowboy coffee. What do they call that coffee? Where
I don't drink coffee.
Oh, that's right.
You know what you do? I used
bulletproof coffee.
I used to eat a banana half an hour before I work out.
You do bulletproof coffee?
That's what I mean. A banana or a yogurt.
Yeah, one banana.
You know that diatomaceous earth is used as a bug killer?
Sure, absolutely.
And you fucking ingest this shit.
Right.
Good for you.
What's that?
You like Raid too? I love Raid.
Love
Raid. Love Raid.
Give me a good can of Raid. I'm good for the day.
I huff Raid.
That's how I started out on Raid.
I'm so afraid of roaches that when I was living in my apartment in D.C.
Research probably kill them.
I used to literally, I had a roll-out bed. I would spray 2 rings of Raid around my bed before I went to sleep at night.
Why?
Because I have this phobia about roaches.
I know, but
I'm like a little
Even
girl.
though you didn't have roaches?
No, we did. It was Washington, D.C.
Oh, if you had roaches, that makes sense.
But I would keep it.
It's
2 rings
poison. That sounds poison.
Well, of course it is.
Guess how much I made total.
No, actually, they really like
with
chickens.
Quora.
It helps keep the chickens naturally.
What's that?
That's that app, right?
As an expert, what do you think I made
over here, I'd be up on the thing.
If you guess within a nickel.
22 cents.
No.
What you made?
In Quora, all-time earnings.
All time, $1.22.
What, on Quora?
No, $1.96.
Damn it, you're making something. You better report
Hi,
this.
Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, 303-713
Talk. Frank Duran, the real estate man. We're getting a lot of comments on Frankie because he was on the show the other day, and they said, this guy sounds really nice, but he also sounds knowledgeable, and they loved what he said about the market staying red hot. But here's the deal. Frank doesn't always price your house like you think it should be priced, and you may question him until the offers start coming in. He knows how to price a house to get action and then goes and often gets more than the asking price. But stats show he sells faster and for more money. He has stats that show it. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Barry is an elderly gentleman who had surgery on his neck, his vertebra. He had surgery to relieve pressure on nerves. They went through the front of his throat. Afterwards, he had no voice. Nothing to be taken lightly. We wondered what happens if he signed a disclaimer. What do disclaimers mean? And what do you need for a malpractice suit? Malpractice is one of the hardest things to pursue. But Denver trial lawyers have been successful. I mean, Dan Sloan, you guys have gotten hundreds of millions over the years in malpractice. What I want to know, Dan, is if you had to define malpractice in a nutshell, what is it?
Well, thanks for having me, Tom.
Yes, sir.
So, in a nutshell, medical malpractice is a deviation from the standard of care.
Okay, so could it be different things in different communities? Like, really, in different states? Could something be malpractice somewhere and not somewhere else?
Arguably, yes, it can. And different doctors can have different malpractice. If there's a specialist in an area, they may have a different standard of care to which they're held than a general practitioner. Obviously, if this gentleman had spine surgery, I'm guessing it was an orthopedic surgeon or a spine surgeon, but there is a standard of care to which he would be held.
Okay.
And that really can only be determined by another expert in the same field.
What about, and I'm going to get to that, but what about a disclaimer or disclaimers that we sign or whatever they're called before surgery? Can someone disclaim themselves out of malpractice?
Yes and no. It depends wholly on the language of whatever is signed. I'm sure this gentleman would have signed something before the surgery that talks about the risk.
Right. That's what we want to know about. If you name the risk, does that exclude it from malpractice?
It excludes it if it's something that happens absent a deviation from the standard of care. The doctor cannot deviate from the standard of care and still claim, well, I did everything wrong, but you still can't sue me. If the doctor does things correctly and there's a bad outcome, but there's not a deviation from the standard of care, then there's not malpractice.
Okay, so if it's in the disclaimer, it's in there, but it's in there to advise you. But if they still do not rise to the level of adequate care, it doesn't get them out of it. So
not necessarily. It depends. It's all any kind of waiver of liability depends on the language.
Okay.
So I don't want to say, because I haven't seen this language, because in Colorado you can waive one's negligence against you.
Wait, you can?
But it depends on the language.
You can.
You can waive negligence. You cannot waive gross negligence, but negligence is a claim that you can waive.
Really?
You can knowingly and intentionally waive it, yes.
But Dan, it's also...
Hold on a sec. Is his mic on? I'm not sure. I don't hear him. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Dan, it's also something that has to be a known complication, which is not negligent, but something that's common with that particular kind of surgery.
I don't know what you're saying. He just said, no. What I mean is, I think he answered that. He did say, if it is common and it's a risk that's mentioned, he still has to keep up the normal level of care.
True.
Right?
Yes.
So what were you thinking? That
No, I'm just saying that, for instance, when I used to perform surgery, one of the common complications was if it was very difficult, there could be bladder injury.
Right.
So if that occurred and we told the patient ahead of time, depending on the surgery, that it was a known complication, it occurred, it wasn't negligence. Correct, Dan?
Like I said, it all depends on the language of the disclaimer, but potentially, yes.
Right. Again, it depends. In other words, you can say bladder damage is a common risk, but if you do the bladder damage after everything's done and you drop an instrument on it, well, guess what? I would say that's negligent if you do something like that. So I understand what you're saying. No matter what you sign, gross negligence is never excused. However, I'm surprised that even some negligence is excused. I'm surprised that you can disclaim. Can you give me an example of something that would be worded or disclaimed like that, regular negligence?
Sure. Like we have a lot of zip lining companies in Colorado, and people go zip line. Well, when you go to do a zip lining activity, you're going to sign a waiver that says, I will not sue you for your negligence. If there is something done that is negligent,
okay,
if
all right,
zip line's not maintained and you're negligent, you can waive negligence.
Okay, now let's get to Barry. He lost his voice, and doesn't he need, before you do anything, don't you need another doctor in the field to say it is malpractice?
So there's a legal requirement for another physician in the field to look at the records, gather some facts, and say that the claim does not, there is substantial justification for the claim. Those are the legal words.
And in order to get a doctor to do that, doesn't that cost money in and of itself?
Oh, yes, absolutely it does, because you have to pay a doctor for his or her time to review medical records. Now, just because you get a doctor to say that the claim does not lack substantial justification doesn't mean you're then going to go on and be able to prove negligent conduct.
Right. It just means you can proceed. It means you can proceed. Okay.
Correct.
What's the second step?
Well, the second step then is to make a claim. It's typically in a malpractice case. They don't just come to the table and talk to you. You have to go and file the case and prove your case.
And isn't it a very, very difficult thing to do?
It's very difficult. It's very hard fought, and it's very expensive, not in terms of lawyer time, but in terms of out-of-pocket costs.
Barry,
many of our cases,
yes,
Tom, we will pay $100,000 to $200,000 in out-of-pocket costs
just to get to the courtroom.
Yes, sir.
Dan, don't you find that in Colorado working with Copic is a very difficult procedure?
Okay, I want to get. I appreciate that question, but I don't want to talk about the behind the scenes stuff. Barry, I need to know if you have a specific question.
Well, yes, I do. First of all, I talked with the attorney, when they basically gave it back to me and said they're not going to pursue it, they said that the amount of money that it would take to basically research and
that's just what Dan said.
Would not be.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, what money I might get out of it? Now I understand that. That's not my complaint. But looking at my records, I was looking at this law firm, and it doesn't seem like they made a whole lot of effort.
All right, see, I know what you're talking about, okay? I want to get to that. What the doc, by the way, was referring to was not a small issue. It's just that I don't think it affects consumers so much, Dan. He was saying aren't particular carriers very difficult to work with, and we can address that, but I'm not sure a consumer can't exactly pick who they go to based on that. But if you want to address, is it particularly difficult in Colorado because of that? Let's talk about that. The main thing I want to know is, what does Barry do if he thinks the previous attorney didn't do a good job?
Now, impact traffic.
I try to get
There's few troubles.
And there is no mistake. There is no stupid question. However, questions that don't affect consumers, that's more of an inside question. People, even if Copic or whatever you call them is a very difficult company to work with, all right?
No one in the world knows that.
And no one cares.
Nor do they care.
No one cares. There's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing. It's not something we can say, oh, really? Like there's no answer that would make someone think, I'm going to tell Joe about that. So when you think about questions, I want you to think like this. This is good for the show I'm talking about. Not for your research, but for the show, if you can think this. When someone hears this, will they say, wow, I didn't know that, or I want to tell my mom.
Okay.
Or I want to tell Mary about this.
No, I was just trying to point out.
But that's more insider.
It's even harder in Colorado than anywhere else.
Let's talk about American Restoration, because this is a company that I highly recommend, because restoration is a field filled with bad guys. It really is. So if you've had a flood, a storm, mold, other catastrophes, you need a company to clean up. Don't go to someone who just calls themselves a restoration company. No, no, no. You need a scientist, environmentalist, people who are licensed, people who know what they're doing. You need professionals that do it all the time. American Restoration 24/7. Here's the website, amrest247.com. I want to wrap it up really quickly at the end. Yeah. A lot of times, and I notice Clint does this, and I know why you're doing it. The smarter someone is, and the more they know about something, the less relevant questions they ask, because they know too much. You know what I'm saying? It's like if another doctor was listening, they'd think that would definitely be something of interest if we were having a panel discussion. Like, are attorneys discouraged because of this carrier? I imagine, is this like 90% or all of them? Do they all have the same company? And that board, now this is where it affects consumers. Guess what? If they're all covered by the same insurance company, who are you going to get to say that was fucking malpractice? Really? Because wouldn't they be pissed if you talked about another doctor?
Well, you go out of state.
They would have to.
Yeah.
They would have to.
Just about.
So that makes it more expensive.
Right. I'm also, I'm learning, about what to ask.
Well, you're a doctor, but here's what I'm saying.
In general, about the show, about when,
So think about it in that way.
That's
like,
a good point.
Hey, you know what? There's an automatic tendency for everyone. When they have an area, there's an automatic tendency to get too involved. That's why, I really watch myself and try to cut the call short. If somebody calls about an airplane or aviation...
What about the helicopter thing the other day?
I try to keep it very simple and not talk like that one guy called and tried to say, but they reported mean sea level and the other ones report AGL, and isn't that place 500 feet
Yeah,
below?
but you asked for that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
And I was wondering that same answer.
I didn't ask for that. What I said was, I just want to make the point, sir, that he was just too close for comfort. I mean, this guy was getting into, well, wait a minute, you didn't mention that when, I forget the name.
You made 2 points, that most of it is due to pilot error.
Poor visibility, right.
And that helicopters are safer than fixed wing.
Did I say that?
Yes.
I don't know if they are, but I think they are. I think they are.
Well, those are 2 points that you made.
So wait a minute, you're saying...
I said
helicopters just don't fall out of the sky.
Yeah, but I didn't think that.
A Cirrus has... I don't think a Cirrus has ever had a death that wasn't a fucking...
I know. Cirrus is great. Okay, I'm going to get off very quickly.
I'd say helicopters are much more dangerous. How many Cessnas do you see bombing people over in Iraq? Those things go down all the time. Sand gets in them.
Statistically, that might be correct. I was just going to look it up. I wonder statistically, what statistic would you look at, though? Like the number? I know.
Helicopter crashes versus
per hours,
crashes.
Per flight hours. Per flight hours.
Yeah.
Or,
in other words, you have to be
or per capita. I don't know how many. No. How many helicopters versus how many airplanes? Percentage.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Flight hours. Because if you don't fly the fucking thing, a lot of people have airplanes that sit on the ground most of the time. And I think, first of all, helicopters are flown more because they're workhorses. I think more than an airplane. But let's just do this. Let's say per flight hours. How about that?
I don't know about that.
Mark,
why, Mark?
Why? Because you don't take a helicopter across a fucking ocean, for example. So you're gonna. I don't think that's a.
That would make a fixed wing more.
I'm saying I don't think it's good data because one doesn't fly that far.
Are you excluding commercial flights?
No, airplanes versus helicopters.
But if you want to compare accident rates, you got to have some.
Just ask her. Is there more helicopter or plane? The answer is going to be plane for sure.
No, there are more helicopter. Oh, you mean more vehicles? Yeah, there's more airplanes. But then there's another thing. There's normally aspirated gasoline, and then there's turbine. I think we just ask fixed wings versus helicopters per flight hour. Wouldn't that be logical?
Or go military. That's what you're really saying.
Well, why that?
Well, because that's where most of the helicopters are run, military, huh?
Well, yeah, but I mean, why military? I mean, I think that they're more risky.
Well, it's got to be all data.
In general, accident rates of helicopters versus fixed wings.
And here's another thing is in military, that if you go by ups and downs, there are a lot more ups and downs in military.
There were 14 fatal accidents last year in commercial aviation out of 16 million flights.
Yeah. Jesus, that's safe.
Yes.
Wow.
And there hasn't been
How did you know that?
It was on some trivia thing.
I don't even know how that... How many?
14.
Okay, first of all, I think it was 60 fucking people died when they shot that fucking jet out of the sky a month ago. So that's more than you're even saying.
He said accidents.
No, 14 fatal accidents.
That is an accident. They accidentally shot down a plane.
I'm Tom Martino.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk. Dan, with Denver trial lawyers, how much damage do you need to pursue malpractice? And I know you're going to say it depends, and I refuse to have that answer unless I had urinary problems. So I want to know, get it? Depends. Come on, Dan, we got to have some humor here. Anyway, tell me, what are we talking about when it comes to damages?
Sort of our threshold and the things we look at is the permanency of the injury, and really because of the very, very strong caps on non-economic losses in medical malpractice cases, we look at future ongoing care.
Okay, the next thing, that's a very good answer. The next thing, if he thinks his attorney did not do adequate research and he's unhappy, I think that's a losing battle, in my opinion, but I don't know. What do you do about that?
There's always other attorneys you can go to, and I would strongly suggest that Barry find another attorney and get another opinion.
Okay, but he doesn't have much time left, and I think one of the things he's pissed off about is that they gave it back to him with not much time left.
I don't think there's that many. Listen to what our attorney just said. $200,000 they might have to lay out. There better be a hell of a lot of damages for any attorney to take.
Of course.
And he's already getting better.
Barry,
Yes,
even if, okay, we have so many problems with your claim. Okay, first of all, even if there's malpractice, okay, the damages have to be substantial. And then, but you're arguing one step beyond that. You're saying the attorney didn't do enough research, so now I don't know if I have a good case, and now it's late in the game, so I want to take action against the attorney. Do you realize that no one is going to take this fight? I'm just going to tell it like it is. You do know that. I don't want you to waste your time.
Okay, well, that's why I was asking the question.
I would go to well, here's what I would do. If you want an opinion on malpractice, you call Denver trial lawyers, and they can sometimes screen you right on the phone. Because really, Barry, if your voice is coming back in and of itself and there wasn't a lot of pain or suffering, you're not going to have a big claim. But call DenverTrialLawyers.com. Seriously, 303-571-5302. Listen, they will take any inquiries. They go after catastrophic injuries, those unusual injuries like this. But again, you are faced with reality when it comes to filing lawsuits. Okay? And that is there has to be substantial damages. 303-571-5302. Unless you go the way of a small claims court for different things or county court. And we can talk about that because Mark does a pretty good job helping people through that process logistically. You have to do your own legal work. Linda, what's going on with you, Linda?
Well, first of all, Tom, I want to tell you, you look great in your commercials.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Buffed up.
Well, so what's happening with you?
Well, my son moved into an apartment or a condo, and there was always a bad smell in there.
Really? Okay.
And then 2 weeks ago, they found out the gentleman that lived above him had killed himself and passed away.
Wait, he was dead for how long?
7 months.
Oh, my gosh.
And, you know, there's family members that live close, but nobody did a well check or anything.
Oh.
So they found out, like I said, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Well, the gentleman killed himself. He was right, his bedroom it's right underneath my son's bedroom.
All right, hold on, and let's figure out where we're going with this, Linda. Please, this is very interesting, and we may be able to help you. And it depends on what issue you want to tackle. I'm Tom Martino. We're also going to introduce Genesis Total Exteriors is here to talk about all kinds of stuff going on in home remodeling that you want to know about coming up.
What you were saying, you know,
okay, what topic should we talk about that's hot? What's hot right now?
The damn State of the Union. She ripped up the fucking speech. Oh. Poor Mark.
Go ahead, Mark. Bring up anything you want. In fact, Mark, you can say, Tom, I don't know why you're avoiding the topic or why you do this. Just do what you want. Just do it. And then I'll react to it. Just do it.
The most you get for pain and suffering in Colorado is $250,000.
That's not true. Oh, pain and suffering.
Pain and suffering.
No, wait a minute.
Non-economic.
Pain and suffering.
That's right.
Whereas other states, you can get millions. Like
there are
Pennsylvania,
substantial.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm missing something. Then why would an attorney dish out $200,000 to recover $250,000?
Because they're trying to get economics too.
Yeah, they're trying to get.
Oh, okay. Going forward, looking forward. I got you.
We're just about pain and suffering. Well, loss of consortium. That's
Hey, Mark,
right.
you're always big on stucco. Do you do the? What do you rather do, repair or just redo a house? Redo a house. Redo a house. Is good money. Is it good money? Yeah. Have you ever re-stuccoed a log house?
You have to get a smooth
Stucco a log?
Well, you could.
You mean not re-stucco, but stucco it.
Stucco it.
So what would you have to do? Bring it smooth, right?
Yeah, you have to.
Why? Why would anybody do that?
Well, as they age,
Because they're
they
morons.
get
The logs start to deteriorate, start falling apart.
But boy, talk about changing the look of your
Talk about
cabin.
morons.
but not the inside.
Yeah,
It's just the
exactly.
outside.
Only an engineer would attempt anything like that.
No, but
And that just shows you.
done that?
No, we haven't done a lot.
Oh, okay.
Mark, is today, where's the Daphne? Is it,
We're doing a house right now. It has hay bale walls.
Have what?
Hay bale walls.
They got hail damage. So, hay bales, and they stuck it on top of the hay bales.
No. Hay bale walls.
They're very well insulated.
Hold on. You would build a house with hay bales?
Yeah, straw bales.
Yeah, but that could never hold up over time, can it?
Yeah, you get them dry, nothing's going to happen.
But they must reinforce it with pillars or something,
I don't know
don't
what's in the inside.
Okay.
Think about this, all right? What is it? It's not structural. They don't hold. They don't maintain.
You get them dense. I think you have to do them a certain way. Press them so they are super dense.
Okay, then what? Then what would it keep them from expanding?
We didn't build. We're just restucking it.
So if what's over
so
the outside?
They might have some 2x4s on the inside too.
On the outside, tell me what is? You got straw. Then what?
And then you have chicken wire.
Right over the straw.
Yeah.
They don't even put a lathing up or sheathing.
Again, I'm just
no sheathing.
No sheathing.
This is a brand new one?
No, it's a house where you
start. Is the hay compressed into like bricks?
Very dense.
No, but he's talking about big bales, right? You're not talking about little ones.
No, I'm thinking they're regular. Again, we don't.
A regular bale. They're probably like this.
Right. They're probably.
That's what I'm asking. They're probably 3 foot.
When my grandpa had a farm.
Yeah, you know what bales are.
No, of course. I mean, we used to bake.
What I mean is, we're not. I think he was talking about more like what do you call those things in Mexico they used to use?
Adobe.
Yeah.
Adobe brick. No. And so, but my grandpa, his baler, he could decide how tight he's
right. No, that's true.
Right. And so how tight this bale's gonna be. So I imagine you crank it up so it's so tight.
Right.
And again, you got a 2 foot or 1.5 foot thick wall.
But then, isn't it only as good as the wire? Because let's the wire deteriorated. What happens then? See, that's too weird for me, man.
I've heard of them. I just didn't know.
I have heard of them too. I wonder how they actually work.
How old is the house?
I don't know. These people are second owners. I don't know all these.
Like they actually just had the straw on the outside to
no, there's stucco on the outside.
Have you been to Ambly?
Gotcha.
Why did I've heard about it. What is that, Mark?
I don't know. I'm booking it right now.
Wait.
It looks delicious.
Oh, the restaurant. Somebody asked me about
You're thinking about Nambla.
No, hell no. Fuck. That is a terrible. I can't believe. No. But what I can't believe, there are actually people. There was a guy on who was promoting it.
Oh, come on.
No. Mike Rosen years ago had him on, not to say it's a good thing, but it's almost like a shocking thing that someone actually is a PR guy for NAMBLA. And he was trying to say that it's good. It's National Association of Man-Boy Love.
Right.
It's one of those, to me, that's something fake. I mean,
that's exactly what I thought. Like, how can it actually exist and somebody actually say it's good? It's good for the boys. And
it's good for the boys. Yeah.
No, I think he
just
was
like the Russian mob's good for women.
I think he was saying that it's something about how it fosters better men, loving men.
Like Big Brother with sex.
It's terrible.
Of course it's
But do you believe it? Like Mark said, it's almost like a shocking.
It's fucking fake, yeah.
Like they did it on purpose, like some kind of urban legend or something.
To get a reaction.
What do you call? Yeah, or trolling. Wait, look at that.
It's one of those things. There might be 7 people that are like part of this thing.
I mean, who could actually? I can't even imagine joining. Who would join, even if they wanted to do it? How would they? Why would they join? Doesn't it?
Well, it's just easy to become a priest.
Speaking of which, thank you for the recommendation.
Was that a great show?
I'm still watching it. The new Pope, the young Pope first. I'm watching it.
Good.
Man, is he at first you think, hold on, at first you think he's a heathen and an atheist and a jerk and hates the church. Then he actually seems more committed than the other two faces. That he really does mean it. And I don't know actually where he stands. Don't tell me.
No, but I'm talking. Doesn't Judd Law have that imperious look? He has that a certain look about him.
I love Jude Law. What a good actor he is.
He's so good.
He is a good actor. Mark.
Edge? You ever been to Edge restaurant?
Mark, I know you like the calling and all that, or whatever, because you turned me on to that one, and you would like the Young Pope.
I might try it.
You would like it.
Have you ever been to Edge restaurant?
No.
La Rock.
All kinds of stuff.
French 75.
Are they cheap? I know they're very well insulated.
I just looked about
I built one.
Palace Arms.
Build one.
That sounds like an old
We used to
place.
make, I'm from a farm too, forts from them.
Yeah,
I'm from a farm. We're all from farm.
So yeah, I used to always build forts and stuff up in the barn.
Capitol Grill.
Yes,
Capitol
now that's
Grill.
good. Capitol Grill, yeah. That's at par with Del Frisco's.
Larimer Street.
Yeah, that's on par with Del
How would you
Frisco's.
do?
For real.
Yeah.
You've never been to Capitol Grill?
I like Shanahan's better than
I like Shanahan's better than Elway's.
I hate. I don't
like
hate
Elway's.
it. I do not like
And
Shanahan.
I don't like Elway's. I'm not.
None of them beat Del Frisco's steak-wise.
Right.
You agree with that?
Well, I think after Del Frisco's like Ruth Chris.
You have one?
Yeah.
Is it starting to rot?
No.
I
It's
love
8 years old, but
love
I do get cracks.
Have you ever been to Steakhouse 10 Mark?
Yeah, but that's not that.
No, but I like that.
The
as
Greek
you know,
guy.
And I think that would help,
Right?
What?
Yeah.
Here's their vegetable, though. French beans. It's like, God.
Who's that?
The grill, we just said.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK. Listen, Mark brought something up during the break that I think we should talk about, and that is Restaurant Week's coming up. I'm not pretending to have a restaurant show or a cooking show or this chef or that chef. I don't give a damn about that. I'm not one of those, Chef Raphael changed restaurants and now has a new offering. No. I just want to know what's good eating, huh? And Mark was asking about some restaurants that I hadn't gone to in a long time. So that's a cool idea. Talk about Restaurant Week. What will you try? Restaurant Week should be for people to try new things, right? I mean, but we all seem to end up doing the same old stuff, just getting a better deal on Restaurant Week. But I'm going to use it to actually try new stuff.
We always use it to try new stuff.
Do you?
Yeah,
new
we
stuff?
go to the old stuff, but we'll book. I'm already on 5, so we'll book probably 7 restaurants.
You guys eat out a lot. We eat out every single night now, but we have mostly the casual. That's just because there's 2 of us.
Like
we
what?
have the casual eating.
Where'd you eat last night?
Oh, last night doesn't count because she went to
the last time you guys went.
She went somewhere else. Let me think. Shoot, I don't know, Mark. I got to think here. Let me look at my
Wendy's.
No, we go to casually. I'll go to.
I can't see you at
Applebee's. You like Sam's number 3?
I love Sam's.
I know.
Sam's is
yeah.
good. Stephanie doesn't.
How about Poppy's?
Oh, I love that place.
Poppy's is great.
Poppy's is a good old-fashioned restaurant. Yep. It's an old-fashioned restaurant. That's where I went. That was the last restaurant. Wiener Schnitzel, or they had schnitzel of some kind. They
have a great schnitzel.
Schnitzel's good.
Poppy was a little sloppy.
I shouldn't eat schnitzel, but I did. Anyway, 303-713-TALK. Linda, this is terrible. This condo, a bad smell, all right? By the way, if you're just tuning in, she called and said that her son moved into a condo, and there was a dead smell. Or it's a bad smell. The guy had died 7 months earlier, committed suicide. And again, this is a consumer show. We talk about everything. If you have a problem, question, complaint, you just want to unload, we have so much that we do. It's hard to corral it. Linda, are you calling about the smell now or what?
No, I'm calling about Hazmat went to his unit, and they did clean it out. But my son is concerned about his unit because, he was directly right underneath my son's condo.
Does he have, what is he concerned about? Like contamination?
Yes, because of the fact that the body had been there for so long and it smells like a sewer in his condo. He's called the homeowners association to see if they're going to do anything to his condo.
Well, I don't think it's their responsibility. In other words, I think let's see. It would be his own, right? His own, except he doesn't really have anything to address. What would the HOA do?
Well, my thought was that they would go ahead and clean the unit, maybe the unit next to this gentleman, and then pursue the estate for the cleanup.
I don't know if there is a liability for that. There's nothing really negligent.
Does your son's unit smell now?
And this is Mark Szymanski, Genesis Total Exteriors. Have you ever encountered situations?
We've dealt a lot with burn,
you have to remove it, right?
Well, sometimes yes and no, but the thing is we use shellac a lot, and that does seal in odors. The problem is her odor's coming underneath. So let's say you shellac the floor and the walls, but he's still getting odors in his unit underneath it. I mean, that smell has already permeated the OSB that's on the floor, and so that probably needs to come out.
How about a little Febreze?
A lot of Febreze. But you could take that flooring out and then shellac all the studs that are in between the units, and that would probably seal it up.
That would have to be done upstairs for downstairs.
Upstairs, correct.
Right.
Is this something that actually permeates, that stays?
It has in his unit. It smells like a sewer. It's getting better since Hazmat has been there.
Does he rent or own?
He owns.
So does he have insurance that might cover this? I don't actually know if it would.
Well, that's the question, Why should he have to pay his deductible? Since
But listen, you have to understand something, Linda. It's not always someone's fault. I mean, the guy died. Really, I can safely say this is a situation where you're not going to find negligence. Okay. I mean, let's play with that idea. Who committed negligence? I mean, the guy killed himself. So where is the negligence?
I think it belongs to the family not doing a well check or anything on him.
I think that is way too far-fetched. So we're alleging that because the family did not do a well check, that caused the body to deteriorate too long. Therefore, my son sustained damages. I'm thinking, Linda, when you really analyze it, I'm not saying, I'm not saying you shouldn't have called or anything, and we certainly have ideas like there are companies that specialize in smell.
Okay.
I hesitate to give this name out because I'm going to give a name, but I want to give some caveats. This guy's not on the referral list. I knew him many, many years ago. I don't even know if it's the same guy, okay? But he had a technique for removing odors that was almost magical. The guy developed a solution. And now, I don't even know if this is the same company, so we're going to have to do some checking, okay, and find out. He calls himself a restoration company right now. Okay. And I don't know anything about his restoration ability, but it used to be called Stink Inc., like Stink Incorporated, and I just Googled it. Now, there's a Stink Inc. environmental consultant, and that sounds a lot like him. But then again, there's another Stink Inc., which is a food manufacturer. Why the hell anyone in the world in food would call themselves Stink Inc. in Castle Rock? Can somebody tell me why you would have a company called Stink Inc.?
Because they get rid of the stink. I mean, that makes sense.
Mark, they're food manufacturers.
Oh, they're a food manufacturer.
That guy. I'm not talking about the other
guy. Well, they're morons.
Exactly. Thank you. It's a restaurant in Castle Rock. Stink Inc. Oh, my God.
That's a restaurant.
It says right here.
Are they on Restaurant Week? Try new places.
Are they next to Ouch Dental?
Categorized under restaurants, it says. And it says detailed information established in 2017, a single location. Gee, I wonder why nobody wanted to franchise that. So listen, Linda, I want to call this Stink Inc.
Okay.
Suzanne, can we call, because really it would get rid of the smell. There's just no doubt in my mind. And the question is who pays. You're right. Who pays deductible? I don't even think his insurance would pay for it because they're not going to. Although I would like to ask Compass this. These are really good questions we haven't had before. What covers? I mean, is stink covered? So hold on. Let's figure it out. I'm going to find out if this is the same guy too. It's called Stink Inc. Again, I'm not saying the guy is a good guy or a great guy. I'm not saying he's bad. I don't know. If it's the same one.
There's been cases of valets stinking up cars, and then they'll pay for the cleaning at a car wash.
That was a Seinfeld episode. Melissa, what's going on with you, Melissa? We have open lines at 303-713-TALK. And, of course, we have Mark Szymanski here from Genesis Total Exteriors. And he also does interiors a lot. So, Melissa, what's going on with this thing called I Can Hear? What is that?
They're hearing aids.
Are they dealers?
Yes.
And they actually call the company I Can Hear?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you having a problem?
Yes, I am.
Tell me about it.
Okay. I had ordered these back in September. They sent me the wrong ones in October.
Okay.
Well, I called them in November and told them, excuse me,
I see what you have here.
I only had them for 30 days.
Melissa, hold on. I see what this is. This is one of those low-cost discount places that that market hearing aids. By the way, hearing aids, good ones start at about $1,800 a piece for one and go up from there. However, I knew someone who went to this place. What is it called, Mark? You love it. Abracadabra? No. What is it called? It's
Costco?
In China. No. It's
Alibaba.
Alibaba.
Yeah, they have great hearing aids. Now, you just got to deal with the right people, though.
By the way, believe it or not, they found hearing aids for pennies on the dollar.
Did they get them and like them?
Yes.
Yeah.
But my hearing aid person said, oh, no, they're not right. And I said, well, what's not right about them?
A lot of times
they can't be quality, and yet they are.
The reason they're cheap sometimes, literally, is it's the same manufacturer over in China, the same place that's building the ones you wear. They just go out the back door with a different name on them. You know, they hijack the technology.
So hold on, and we'll try to help you here, Melissa. 303-713-TALK.
I have two buddies that got them from Costco.
That's where my dad gets them. They're still $1,500 to $2,000
a piece.
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Hey Tom, that Stink Inc. is not a restaurant. It's a.
No, there's two of them. There's one. Okay. There's one in Castle Rock.
Okay, so there's an order. It is an order place.
Of course, yes.
Okay, Rick's Prime Seafood.
Hey, Mark,
okay, Mike's on. DenverTrialLawyers.com. We just heard from them talking about that malpractice case. An example of when you go to them is when you don't know where to go anywhere else. Denver Trial Lawyers takes difficult cases. They take medical malpractice, birth injuries, when a hospital does you wrong. It's not just medical either. A product might have malfunctioned and hurt you, maybe a therapist, or sexual assault. Seriously, they will listen to you with all those difficult cases. 303-571-5302. 571-5302. DenverTrialLawyers.com.
You like Eddie Merlot's? I've been there a few times. It's
No, is the quick answer. It's that's right. I can't say it's bad. It's just in the same class as the other Flemings. Yep, same exact class. Same exact class. But Fleming's isn't bad. There's just nothing special.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I wouldn't say they're bad. Like the food and stuff, would you?
I thought the service was bad and
okay.
The food wasn't. We went there one time with a bunch of guys, there were like 15 of us, and they brought out half of the meal, and then 15 minutes later the other half.
Mark,
you can't do that with a big group.
Mark, you will love Ocean Prime.
Yeah, Ocean Prime.
I booked it.
You said Capitol Grill, they're downtown. You liked it?
Yeah, you didn't like it?
I only went there for lunch a few times where they had a little bucket of shrimp. That's one where they got big safes.
Put up the.
They're usually
put up
pretty
the.
That was years ago.
Oh. The Master Rooter times?
How'd you know?
What was the one that used to have the big shrimp bowl and it was real popular?
Capitol Grill had that.
No, it wasn't Capitol Grill. In fact,
Broker?
Downtown the restaurant was in the Broker. It was in a vault.
Right, the Broker.
Oh, that's the one I'm thinking.
That used to be good.
Yeah, the Broker. That's what I'm thinking of.
Right.
It used to be good.
Well, it's gone now. It's been gone for a long time. And you know what also closed
Hold on. All right, I say this and I say it with pride. Master Rooter Plumbing, these guys are great. They're going to save you a lot of money. I just got another email. In fact, I got it yesterday, but they saved a guy over $1,000 or maybe it was $1,200 on getting some jetting done on his house. If you need a plumber, whether it's 24/7 emergency service or what they really pride themselves in is the best price around, and I mean the best price on getting entire sewer lines replaced. These guys are the best. Master Rooter, 720-434-3406, 720-434-3406.
Mark, do you think you lose business because you
You see exteriors and you don't.
We sat in there one time in the vault.
The broker.
Okay,
Did you? Yeah, no,
I don't
that was
exactly
kind
remember
of
what it
cool.
looked like
The ambiance
before,
was kind of cool. and
But
stuff.
basically,
They had one in
okay.
Montbello
Okay,
at
so
one time, if
remember,
you can
here's our
believe
little
that
toilet
shit.
room, and then there was a
Right
closet
at
door
I-70
here.
in
So she
Peoria.
walled it
I
off,
assume that
and
used
here's
to be
where
a
our
bank.
old shower
I
is,
assume that's
and then
what it was.
put a door
Downtown
here
was.
to go in
Yeah.
this way.
It was legitimate.
I just don't. Right, I don't know if it makes any
That was a
sense to
huge
do that or
vault
just
and
wall
stuff
it off and keep the closet door we have. I was walking through it the other day going, do I want...
We're going to do the shower here?
Yes,
Do a
now
glass
this
block
isn't
wall, or what are we
permanent.
doing?
Like, she's extended the cabinet this way,
Right.
or the countertop. I don't know if I want the,
What the
whole
fuck
big
is
shower
Yayas?
here. You know what I mean? To go
Oh,
all the way.
Yayas, yeah,
But
that's
anyway,
right down
this was kind
right
of
over
what
here.
she
Which
gave
one
us
is that,
as
Mark?
a starter.
Yayas, it's
Yayas.
Oh, Yayas?
And this is all going from, she's been
Yayas
on house
is-
once, and this is all over.
It says Euro.
Yeah, it's like
So
a single
anyway,
dating place.
that was the
If
only
you go
thing.
there
Just,
any night,
like if my
you'll see
back's
all
to
sorts
this
of
door,
couples
I don't know
who
if
are
I
meeting
should
after
have,
their
if it
first
made
date.
any sense.
Oh, I
If it
didn't
made a
know
difference.
Oh yeah, it's not. The
Doesn't
only
actually
thing that
add more
Yayas has
square
is in the
footage
summertime
to our
they
closet,
have
walling
concerts.
it off here and dooring it
The
here.
concert?
Yeah, right now
Here
little
to
park
wall
outside.
off
Oh,
this
because you're
and
right.
keep
There is a
the
little place.
existing
Yeah,
door.
it's got a big outdoor thing.
Right, they have concerts.
I didn't know that.
But Yayas, I wouldn't go there, Mark.
I mean, it's okay, but it's no high end.
No, it's not even.
Closet area. You know.
You're
Yeah,
too
that's
fussy,
what it kind of
Don.
felt like. I was
No,
gonna
it's
go
more of a
back.
place to go
I
for
mean,
drinks and appetizers rather than dinner.
Yeah.
Suzanne liked Jing. I hated it.
So, but
Yeah,
I
Jing
dropped
was-
$60 on a steak and it came to me. I ordered super rare. It came to me without any fucking red in it. I cut it open.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't even
yeah, we're gonna
believe
do something
she didn't
cool.
fucking ask me or
I
check
just
me. I
wondered,
said,
do
take it
wanna
back. I
go all
want
the
nothing
way in
from
like
you guys.
this?
And I went, she ate hers and we went over and ate somewhere else.
Was it
Really?
Jing?
Really?
So.
I wasn't even going to give why I wouldn't even give them a second chance. They didn't even say anything. They didn't say check it. They didn't do anything, and it was evident it was no good.
Starter, and that's off of
Jing.
my measurement.
It was too well done.
It was fucking well done. I ordered it. I ordered it as rare as it gets. I said I want it cool in the middle.
Okay, would you prefer it in email?
Yeah, email to me.
Okay, I'll email it to you.
Remember Jing when they brought me that burned steak?
Yeah, but their toilet stalls are so cool that they look they look see-through, and it's just weird.
Right. It is weird.
They are see-through. You just don't know it.
Hey, Suzanne, we get short. If you get short on callers, I have one. I'll try
Shoot
to
them
get
to me. I'll get them on.
No.
Bacon. There's a restaurant called Bacon.
I started as Genesis.
I bet you I know what they serve.
Let's see what they serve. Menu. I mean, what do you think it is? Like hamburger?
I don't think there is.
3-piece bacon flight. Choose 3 flavors. Applewood barbecue, blah, 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 blah.
I tell you what,
It is bacon. You're not shitting.
good applewood bacon. It's got little fat in it.
Oh, look at the entrees. Chicken and waffles.
But then it's like,
We up? All right, 303-713-8255. I don't know where Tommy went. I'm sure he'll walk back in any second. Where did we leave off? See, you almost made me get up and go over there, and you were irritating me.
I'm sorry. Listen, you know what? I was doing some research.
You were pulling a Pelosi.
No. Suzanne and I were doing some research. We have Compass on, though. Thanks, Mark. Compass Insurance Group, Jeremy. Okay, is it a casualty loss when you have odor? Is it covered by insurance? Okay, it could be odor for anything, but in this case, you have a condo, the guy died upstairs. Is it coverable? Is that a word? Is it covered?
I would guess it's not going to be, just simply from the time frame, because it's not sudden. So we have had situations like these where we have had coverage where someone died in the house.
Yeah.
But I couldn't say it wouldn't be covered. I mean, it's certainly something I'd file a claim for if the damage was high enough. But my concern on this is just how long it's been going on.
Right, I understand. Let's talk about something that is covered. What is it? It's sudden, accidental, what else?
So, well, the two big ones, sudden and accidental.
But really, vandalism is not accidental, so that would obviously not be. Vandalism is covered, and that's not accidental, right? So,
right, and accidental meaning like you didn't do it on purpose.
All right, well, thank you. So, Compass Insurance Group, 303-996-9000. Troy has a comment on this. Go ahead, Troy.
Hi, Tom. My comment was just she kept on saying it smells like sewer gas. And, that's unique smell compared to decomposing protein, a dead animal, dead body. I'm just wondering if maybe her son needs to check her, the floor draining, the trap, if it dried out or something like that.
All right, you're saying it could be coincidental.
Yeah, or just she mentioned a couple times about it smells like sewer.
No, she did. And it could be the trap, the P traps. That is really a good suggestion while we're on the topic of odors. I chased an odor one time in my home in Franktown years ago, and it turned out to be
was it Holly?
It was an attic. It was an attic vent that was clogged. And it was so it caused the plumbing not to vent properly, so all the smells came back inside. The other thing is P-traps. P-traps are meant to keep odors out. That's what they're meant for, right? And so some people, when they're going to have a vacant home for a very long time, would put oil, mineral, I don't know if it was mineral, but yeah, so it's oil. I guess it would be some kind of oil, right? And then that would not evaporate over time. So, but that is a good topic while we're on the topic of odors. But this thing about a dead body, it's not covered by insurance. It's not negligence. It's one of those things where crap happens. It just happens, and you got to deal with it. So it's not going to be one particular person or responsible to you.
What happens when someone dies in an apartment or something and they don't have family? I mean, who pays for the whole cleanup? Is it just taxpayer or is it the apartment complex?
Well, yeah, the owner, obviously, right? I mean, I guess in the purest sense of liability, a landlord could go after the estate. Probably, if there was money in the estate saying, look, he left. They do that with nursing homes. If you die and you didn't give 30 days notice, seriously. No, seriously. You think I'm joking. We had a case where someone died and they went after the estate for not only the rest of the rent, but for a penalty. You were required to give 2 months notice. But they died, and it did not excuse them from the notice. So the estate had to give notice. And it wasn't notice in fact when they died. The family had to give notice. 303-713-8255. Okay, listen. Melissa, I didn't forget about you. iCanHear.com is one of these low-cost hearing aids. And I'm starting to re-examine the whole idea of low-cost discount hearing aids. People would have us believe there's some kind of magic inside a hearing aid, like there's some kind of algorithm. That's the favorite word people use for something they can't explain. Or there's something. Now, I imagine from my own experience, I did notice a difference between the Widex I had and some others, but I'm not sure it is so complicated that it can't be duplicated cheaper. I mean, these hearing aids start at around $1,800 each. The ones you're talking about, the pair were $499, right?
Right.
Okay, and they don't have the custom ear mold. It has a little universal ear mold, which, by the way, is just fine. I mean, they're just fine.
They're Bluetooth, Tom.
They're what?
The ones I ordered were Bluetooth hearing aids.
Okay. Now, do they not work? Is that what we're getting at, Melissa?
The ones they sent me were not Bluetooth.
Oh. Is that the bottom line?
Somebody misunderstood me. I wanted the Bluetooth ones.
Right.
And they didn't order them.
Are you talking with hearing aids now on the phone?
No, I'm not.
Do you need them for phones?
It's my right ear. It starts ringing now and then, and I think I'm losing hearing in it.
Well, what I'm asking is, there are some hearing aids better than others when it comes to feedback and when it comes to cupping over a mouthpiece, or an earpiece, or headsets or something like that. So, what can we do for you? Did you return the ones that you got that did not have Bluetooth?
And now they're telling me I didn't.
So now, do you have a credit card you put it on?
Yes, I do.
Did you contest the charge?
I'm going to. This just happened today.
Okay.
Well, if you send them back, I mean, don't you have the delivery? The delivery receipt or what?
Do you have any kind of tracking? Nowadays, there's tracking.
Yeah, how'd you send them back?
Well, the address they sent me.
Yes.
All it had was the address label on it. There wasn't a tracking label to hold on to.
Well, on the label, there's
and
actually
they're telling me they sent me a tracking label. Well, they did not.
Okay, where did you get the label?
I know what a tracking label is.
Melissa, where did you get the one they sent you? Where did you get the label? Where did you get it?
They sent it to me. They should have the tracking number.
Okay, they sent you a label, and you used that label.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a copy of that or the receipt?
Pending.
Huh?
She says it says pending.
Oh,
and they
well,
haven't
that's good.
received it
Well,
yet.
that's because it has to be processed through the system. When did you send it back?
I broke my leg, so I had my brother-in-law drop it off December 23rd.
Oh, that's a long time ago, December 23rd.
Yeah, exactly.
Where are you sending it to? Let's just get it. Let's just call them. Hey, by the way, Suzanne, did you happen to call Stink Inc. yet? Or is she on the phone? She's on the phone. I would like to know if that's the same company that I used to know years ago that got rid of odors. And Melissa, I don't mean to change the topic, but I don't know what to say. These people are saying you didn't send it back. You said you did.
Yeah, and
if they sent you a label, do you at least have a copy of the label?
No, I don't.
So you have nothing.
I don't have a copier right now.
Okay. Do you have it anywhere you can find it?
No, I don't.
Okay,
I really don't.
Melissa, this is going to be a tough one, okay? They're going to say they don't have it. That's all. And you're going to say you sent it back. And
then if they're not going to produce it, I want my money back.
Well, that's true, but they're not going to give your money back because they're going to claim you got the product. So without too much trouble, the best thing to do is to contest it on your credit card and just simply tell them you never – well, you can tell them a couple things. You can tell them the whole story. You got the product and you sent it back. Okay, let's try that one. And then see what happens. Who's your credit card issuer?
Mine is through Chime right now.
Chime?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Whoever that is, I have no idea who Chime is, but I would contest the credit card. That's all we can do. This thing about shipping, Mark, I'm surprised it doesn't come up more often. Do you know, I called Amazon, and I said to Amazon, I did not get these lights. They were like $179 a piece. And they said, you should have gotten them after all this time. We're issuing you a refund. They issued me a refund.
Yep.
The lights showed up a week later. I wondered, what do I do? I went back to my order history to see if I could reactivate it and pay it. I couldn't. So I thought, you know what? I could get these free and no one even cares. I ended up paying for them. How do people prove? I mean, how do they do it? Do you think there are dozens and dozens of cases where people say they did not get something or they shipped something and they really didn't? I wonder. I wonder, how the hell do you know?
You're talking Amazon, though. Amazon's got your favorite word, an algorithm that's going to look at your customer history and figure out if you're a scammer or not. And if you are, and you've got a lot of different refunds that they know show up,
I imagine
they're going to blackball you.
303-713-8255. Georgine wants to talk about a bankruptcy for her daughter. Illumination Signs and Graphics. Having hardships and needs advice. I like that one. And what about an HOA in small claims court and the HOA lawyered up? We'll talk about it.
That's the bum. That's the one that I called up.
That's the bum.
I called him up a couple of times.
No, now he's saying uncle. He's saying he's having hardships.
View House, that's the one that failed.
That's the one I put up here on the thing. The illumination sign. You know, I put you had me put
his name was that the Stink Ink I knew?
His name is John, right? Not sure. Yeah, he's the one that the pizza shop is having problems with. Yeah, I spoke to.
I have it on the big board.
Yeah.
Hey, look at these areas. Where would Highlands Ranch be in there?
Where's that?
You're better at this than me.
No, I am. I'm better than Dan.
Oh, South Metro.
Nope, there's nothing in Highlands Ranch here.
Yes, there is. I thought maybe not in South. I thought.
Where's the Highlands?
Highlands is that's
up north.
That's a little bit north of the
South Broadway, Washington. That's downtown, right? Or headed that way.
You're looking at South Metro is where you go.
I do, but there's nothing in Highlands Ranch.
What are you looking for, man?
Guys, coming up.
Oh, maybe
Mike's
it's too
on.
expensive for Highlands Ranch. Let me try $35.
If you have a DUI, it's going to change your life. Now, I'm not going to sit here and judge you as to why you shouldn't have drove after you drank and you shouldn't have driven. I said, and listen, here's the bottom line, okay? Life isn't always perfect. If you need a defense attorney, Joe Lazzara is someone we know and trust. Joe Lazzara, 303-429-6200. That's Joe Lazzara. Unfortunately, it's a way of life for some people. They just get in trouble. Other people, it happens occasionally. Either way, Joe Lazzara on our referral list at referrallist.com.
I guess saltgrass isn't bad.
Saltgrass?
Yeah.
It's real.
It's like Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah. There's really nothing special.
Actually, it's just like, what's that Australian one?
Oh, the Outback.
Outback. They're all, those three are all
Outback
the same.
sucks, though. It really, I don't like it.
They're not answering, so I left a voicemail for them to call me. No, I left them a voicemail. If they call me back, we'll still get them on, right, to talk about it? Okay.
We do some. I mean, we have a backlog.
I think I'm going to rebook that same one.
So the name really hasn't.
She didn't even know. I think where she sent it from.
No.
UPS.
I know.
Post office.
Her brother-in-law is probably wearing
Dropped
them.
the dog.
Her brother-in-law is probably wearing
why
them.
his name doesn't reflect the fact that there's interiors as well. So, because if I was looking for a bathroom guy, I wouldn't.
No, I know, that's the truth, but I.
But you know what happens is people hear the show and this and that, and then we do home shows.
Yeah, it's always better when a name reflects what you do, or has nothing to do with what you do and you educate.
Right.
But it's really weird when it's in between. But
No, I was just curious why you because it sounds like you do a lot of good work on the interiors.
That's right.
I think where I fucked
It
up.
sounds like that.
We'll find out if we do.
You're one of the few people who does suck away.
I want to know how much.
I think you're one of the few people.
Maybe Shanahan's. I'm trying to book one more and I just can't find a fucking good
Hey
one.
Dan, are we taking a bet on how much Tom paid Linda to say he looks good in his commercials?
Yeah.
Oh.
What commercial is it? The BioT?
Over 100 or under 100 you pay her.
If it's BioT, you better look good in it,
Got
huh?
free lunch.
She got free lunch?
I don't even know, Mark, what they're talking about.
Yeah, I wonder what. What was I going to say? I don't remember.
Wouldn't have been important.
Maybe Perry's again.
So we say that. Wouldn't have been important.
I just don't want to go to fucking Eddie Merlot's.
No. Don't go.
Trapper's Chop House. Don't you like cook your own
I
steak?
actually went there not long ago with my kids because we were in Parker, and I didn't even know it was still around. It actually had really good food.
Chop House downtown is very
Yeah, but
good.
this
Different
has
Chop
nothing
House.
to do with it at all.
Hey Mark, have you ever gone to Max's on Gaylord?
Max's?
Max's
We've been to
Grill?
Gaylord a few times.
No, he's saying Gaylord Street downtown.
Oh,
Well, Gaylord.
the Gaylord Hotel.
Max's is good seafood.
Wait. Gaylord.
It's up the block from the Wash Park Grill.
Okay, then Gaylord is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That little Gaylord Main Street is cute, isn't it? It's like a little town in and of itself. Just like Pearl Street. These little neighborhoods are like...
I like Washington Park Grill area. That
Yeah,
little.
let's do it.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Mark.
Max, you've been to
Mark,
Max's.
I think Max's is where I had that. Do they have buffalo burgers here? We had Washington. At Wash Park. We went to a few restaurants down there with the iHeart.
They just
So
have
far
the-
away.
Mark, they had the dollar ribs. The Max's Grill.
I remember.
Gaylord has regular
You know
restaurants.
what they have? It's
If you're not busy, you just get the
rolls.
You know,
I didn't try that. I had their crab cake sandwich.
So
That's it.
the paint, we gotta pin down this bathroom, and then I want to see what you're talking about on that deck, man.
I should have brought a sample with me. Damn it, I had to get some.
Oh, you have a way to repair it.
Yes, you're not going to want to
Repair what?
Oh my God,
what is it? What kind of deck?
Cement.
Is it a structural slab? What is it?
No, it's got joists underneath it.
So what did they do? Did they form it up, pour it, and then take it out?
You got it.
I mean, well,
that's an admirable attempt.
Well, they got what? You got your joists, and you got OSB on top, or plywood on top of that. But I don't know if there's any water there. But then they just poured concrete in.
What they should have done is got a rubber mat and poured the fucking thing in a rubber mat.
There might be there. You don't know if there could be something there between.
No, because it leaks through the cement, through the wood.
Yeah, but even if, Mark, if they put a rubber mat
in the middle,
that would attract moisture. I mean, it's just not a good idea for a deck. Although I had a cementitious material one time.
Well, okay, then what else do you? Well, okay, what other solid structure do you do for a big deck? Every hotel, any place I've ever seen a solid deck, it's cement. What other material would you use?
But they do structural slabs, which is a totally different animal. I mean,
and different costs.
They don't pour like that.
I don't know. I don't know what else you do for solid though.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. RealCBDThatWorks.com. They have a beautiful lab in Golden with the finest, purest products. And CBD is a wonderful anti-inflammatory. That's why it works so well. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Now, what is going on with Chris? He has information on Amazon and Walmart and how they handle missing products or products that are lost. Go ahead, Chris. They're so willing to give people refunds and credits. It seems like they're ripe. Yes. They're ripe for ripoffs.
They are. As a matter of fact, it's really easy for someone to do it. Like you just said, you just call up and you can say, "Oh, I don't like my product," or I never received it, and they're more than happy to give you your money back, like you experienced. And also, there's a lot of return fraud where people will buy a product. Maybe they've got a computer that's broken, and then they'll take the computer they get, put the computer that is broken in the box, and return that.
Well, don't they know people track that by serial number?
No, like Walmart, for instance. When we were selling on Walmart, they didn't track serial numbers at all. And we had about $200,000 in returns that they were actually charging us back for. And we didn't get our product back, and they kept our money. And when we asked them, well, how do we know this is even ours? Do you have serial numbers for it? They said, no, we don't collect those. They weren't even actually looking in the boxes when people were doing the returns. They were just taking the people's word for it. And Walmart is actually...
Is it still that easy?
Yeah, well, it's getting a little bit harder because Walmart they're filing they've got a guy that stole about $1.3 million worth of merchandise just by doing just like what I said.
Wait, and they tracked the guy, and the guy kept the same name and everything and did it over and over and over?
Yeah, but if you buy electronics from there now, they scan the serial number, they match it up.
You're talking about the store.
They are
you talking online, right, Chris?
Yes, I am.
What do you mean you're a seller?
So we were what was considered a drop ship seller. So we were shipping as if we were Walmart.
On Walmart.com.
So let's say, for instance, on Walmart.com.
What product?
And so our laptop computers.
So to be a seller on Walmart or on Amazon, what do you have to do other than just agree to their pricing?
Well, you have to get approved, right? I mean, just because you can get on Walmart doesn't mean that you can just easily start selling laptops, because they called what's gate. They'll restrict who can sell what products, especially with electronics, on their website.
It's amazing how they're doing business. It's just amazing how they're changing the face of retail. And I don't know if I fear it so much, but I see a time when regular retail is out the window. I mean, Macy's, what are they, closing down 150 stores or more?
Thank God, man. There's no use for that store.
Or JCPenney. Well, take any retailer, Mark. Retail, I look at these small shops and I wonder how they work.
Best Buy to check out. I hate that store.
I wonder how retailers make it to begin with. I can see where specialty small retailers or large retailers might make it, but what about in between?
I don't know.
When you go somewhere,
it's going to be tough.
You can go the next day. You can have something delivered the next day. I was in my office, and it was in the afternoon, wondering where I'm going to find this widget. I go online, found it, and it was delivered to me the next day before 4 o'clock. By the time I drive around and try to find it, it's there. Georgine, what's going on with your daughter? Hello, Georgine.
Yes. Hello, Tom.
What's happening?
Well, my daughter is in some severe debt, around 40 to 45,000.
How old is she?
And I need him 42.
And what does she make a year?
She's a teacher. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's enough. I know enough. So she's a teacher in her 40s into about 40,000 in debt. What's your question on that?
She's tried to get loans. She and her partner, a boyfriend, bought a house last year, which was a little too much. Just got into some severe debt.
Do they have equity in the home?
No.
Okay.
She's tried everything. She's tried 3 different places for loans.
If you don't, and again, I want people to just spare their judgment. I really am not making a moral call here. I am talking strictly debt. If you're in that much debt and have no assets, bankruptcy is a clean slate. I say this. I leave it to the feds and everyone else and the moral police to worry about why and if it was planned and if it's on purpose. But what I'm saying is, in general, I don't believe someone in debt should have a life sentence, and it basically would take her almost a lifetime to get out of this debt. I wish these services that get out of debt, the ones that, deal with the credit card companies, they call themselves counseling and all that. I wish they really worked. Now, these guys work. They work for credit card companies. They don't tell you that. They say they're like consumer credit counseling is a good example. They work for the credit card companies. Credit card companies actually pay them to keep people from going bankrupt. Now, they get rid of penalties, and they can lower interest sometimes, and people make payments and can usually get out of debt quicker using one of them. However, the problem is once you're out of debt, which can take 5 to 7 years, your credit is slammed for another 5 to 7 years. So you're looking at maybe 15 years where your credit is trashed because you did the right thing. But if you go bankrupt, you get good credit in another 3 to 5 years. So it doesn't seem like they treat people fairly. So a lot of people end up doing the bankruptcy. It's just, look, if the laws are there, why not take advantage of them? They're there. And they say if you have consumer debt, if you make under a certain amount, and if it's not fraudulent, you can make them go away.
Could you tell me the difference between Chapter 7, 11, and 13?
Okay, 11 is for business, so just forget it. 7 and 13 are for consumers. Now, here's the deal, all right? Now, businesses can do 7 and 13 too, but I'm talking about the 13 is called an 11, and the 7 is a 7, whether it's consumer or business. With a consumer Chapter 7, they call it a complete liquidation, which means you're not allowed to have any assets except for the exempt, and then everything else is sold. Or if you don't have them, you don't have them. And then your creditors are paid and you walk away and don't have another debt. Chapter 13 is where assets are sold. And are we, by the way, I took the latest break. No? Am I due a break? Okay. So 13 is where they divvy up your assets. You pay what you can over a period of time. They take your assets and figure out what your liability is, okay? It's usually reduced, and then you pay a monthly payment, and at the end of the plan, you're out of debt, even if you didn't pay all of it. It really is the most unsuccessful form of bankruptcy. People usually end up converting to a 7. Hold on one sec.
What word is this? Preference.
preference?
No, not preference. Pre.
What word are you talking?
If you've got somewhere to go now,
I don't know what you're. I don't know the word.
Every time you talk about bankruptcy, you always give this fucking speech. I don't care about
a preamble.
What is that?
Preamble.
Or either a preamble or a prep. Like in a book, they call it a prologue.
It is a preface.
Is at the end, right? A preface.
It is a preface.
Oh wait, a prologue. Anyway,
epilogue is at the back.
But what about it? What about
I just wanted to know a word to use.
Okay,
that's why I didn't do it.
Let me think, because now I'm confused.
Wait,
prologue
is at the back.
I want to know what
the front. That sounds almost like 20%.
I thought it was a preface.
A prologue. Okay, yeah, a prologue, but that's not what I did.
Take the money and run.
1508 Buller. Short Buller. They live in your community.
It's, by the way, a prologue is the beginning of a book, a separate introduction.
Epilogue.
Yeah.
You can save.
That's not the right word, though.
No, that's not what I did. John Fuller, personal injury, you get into an accident, you don't know who to call. I like John Fuller because he's just a good guy, and he is friendly, he is honest, and he's straightforward. So that's what you need. He doesn't speak legalese. He will help you through a difficult time and then decide, is it appropriate for him to take the case? He'll give you honest information free of charge. If he takes the case, he only gets paid if you get paid. 303-597-4500. Someone you can trust. If you're injured and you don't know who to turn to, John Fuller, especially with automobile accidents and any kind of pedestrian accident, 597-4500.
I don't know why I don't think I'm using the right word, but I don't know why you always preference that. That people used to call you up, always going, oh, if you do a bankruptcy, you're a piece of shit.
Yep, every time I mention bankruptcy, every single time, I would get shit. Because why are you promoting that? People should pay their bills.
I got you.
I got tired of it.
I just spoke with Bob Hamilton with Stink Inc. He's the founder.
Preface, yes. Let me preface this, is the word preface. Not preference, preface. Yeah.
Bob Hamilton is the founder of Stink Inc.
Yes.
I just spoke with him. He's going to come on at the top of the hour. He is expanding to Minneapolis and stuff, so Mark heads up on this. I mean, I got to get him on the list.
He's really good.
Okay, but you'll take him after the top of the hour.
A lot of Democrats here.
Hey, Mark, speaking of, have you heard about this product that's a huge seller on Amazon?
What is it?
It's anti-poop stuff. You spray it in the toilet, and it stops odors.
Oh, that's been around forever.
No, is it?
It's a huge seller on Amazon.
Hot-looking chicken on TV.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute.
Right.
What about the one that makes dog poop and horse poop and all poop go away instantly? It like vanishes.
The smell?
Don't you remember this?
Call a paper bag.
Don't you remember the comedy Jack Black? He invented. Listen to this. He invented a spray. Think about, though, if this did, you spray it on and it goes like this. And so people would walk their dogs, no more bags, they would just gone. Their horses, gone. It was the biggest news, and he got rich. It was a story about a rags to riches story with Jack Black. You never saw the movie?
No.
I forget what it was called. But then what happened was his formulation was flawed, and after I think it was a year, it all comes back. And everything was filled with shit.
I've never seen
and
that.
And he went broke.
Quick.
That's pretty good, though.
What is it called?
No, I said you got to sell quick.
You got to make your money and get away. You got to sell the company fast.
How do you Google? What do you even Google? Jack Black.
It's called the tricorder. Remember from Star Trek? You just scooted it, it vaporizes it.
Well,
it's like the jerk.
No, the tricorder is a communicator.
Was it also
Oh wait, it was an analyzer too. They would analyze the.
And it could also shoot out a laser beam. But it could be a panic selling.
What is their? What is it? Their,
now you got me fucking confused.
No.
Okay.
What is their?
Jack Black movie about dog shit.
Their stock price to profit. What is it called? The fucking the P&E.
There is no.
Because they don't make any fucking money.
It must have been a B-class movie.
It was Envy, 2004.
Wow.
Ben Stiller and Jack Black star
Paris
as best friends, neighbors, and co-workers.
Seriously, I was going to wait till it hit 1,000.
Nick's harebrained get-rich-quick schemes actually succeed. Vaporizer, a spray that makes dog poop or any poop go away. Evaporate into thin air.
Tesla.
Tim Wood scoffed at Nick's idea.
20%.
Yeah, it's down $170.
Well, that was real. Now 164. So this is here. It's either going to be panic selling or people saying it's cheap. It's cheap. What's that? When Tesla hit 2,000?
No, it's down to, what is it, 700 right now?
721. What was its highest?
900.
No, 845. But it hit that today too. So it spiked today and then just really. There are many analysts, Tesla. Many analysts will say we don't even understand it.
Why it went
Why
up?
it's so high?
Because he's a liar.
Envy is the name of
It's
it.
952 yesterday.
It doesn't. No,
Sounds a little bit slapstick.
What show?
Right.
It could have, Dan.
And this thing says wrong. It's the 52-week high, 845. Here, let me put this here. You're right. You're right.
Of course he's right. Actually, better yet, you're wrong.
No, but this is crazy that Yahoo doesn't even have it right. Unless you go on the thing. Yeah, it hit 962, didn't it?
The app I use is Yahoo also.
Look it says 52-week range. 176 to 845.
5 day and it shows.
In the 5 day, you can put it on the very top, and it shows yesterday that it was like.
Yeah, because I remember it broke 900.
You're right.
Both my boys were texting me about it.
You and I can connect and encourage each other locally. Caucus Room is never going to sell our data for information.
God, the name of that company is horrible.
Oh, it is.
For new and conservative resources.
That's
so I want you to join me on caucusroom.com.
They're not going to go to Yahoo anymore.
That's caucusroom.com.
Ask Alexa to play 6:30.
God, look at what it did. Look at the 6 months.
This afternoon.
I know, you could buy it at 200 some odd bucks.
From iHeartRadio.
230, 240 around there.
On your smart speaker. Available on over 2,000 devices.
Me and Mark both put a sell on it because we knew the earnings, but then he said.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-8255. Mark Trenner, Trenner Law. He's the guy to call if you have an idea and you want to protect it. So many people don't protect an idea. There's something called a provisional patent that you do immediately. Even if you don't do a patent search, you get it's a placeholder in line. So if it turns out later on that it had already been invented or patented, nothing happens. It just expires. But if it turns out you were the first one, then you get the patent. So it's a placeholder. Before you get all the work done, you want to at least protect yourself just in case you are the guy. That's Trenner Law. It's called a provisional patent. He can tell you all about it. 720-221-3708. That's 720-221-3708. And that's Trenner, Mark Trenner, on a referral list at referrallist.com. Georgine, so, Mark wondered, why do I keep prefacing my remarks about bankruptcy and telling people to reserve their judgment? It's because so many people, when I mention bankruptcy, think it's immoral. People should pay their bills, blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to get into it because, as I said, people make stupid mistakes and they shouldn't have a life sentence. I would say for your daughter, just knowing what I know, a Chapter 7 complete liquidation is the way to go. All right?
Tom, do you lose your house and car?
What's that? If you did what?
There's exemptions. Your house, if they have no equity, you won't lose it, and then your car.
That's right.
It's like $5,500.
There are generous exemptions that you can keep most cars and most homes in Chapter 7.
Rates continue to drop. Have you taken it?
Georgine, it's really important that the exemption.
Do we have the 83-year-old guy's phone number on the card?
They're really generous, though.
Yeah, I think
83-year-old that got sold every mop and blow in the world. Yeah. Would you get him back on the air, please, for an update?
Let's see. I'll tell Suzanne to get it. I have his number.
You have his number?
Yeah.
Just go in there, call him on that phone over there, and put him on hold. Just ask Grant how to do it.
I know how to do it. The economy. But right now, I think it's $60,000 is the homestead exemption. And on a car, I believe the car might be less. The car is like, I think, $2,000 or something like that in equity. Most people do not have equity in a car, does she?
And bankruptcy is different every state, right?
Okay. Most likely doesn't have equity. But let's say she did.
No.
In a Chapter 7.
I think there's minimums on exemptions, and states can do different. I don't think they can do any worse. You follow what I'm saying?
If you want to keep it, you have to pay the bankruptcy.
Did you get a load of that kid that was born at 21 weeks?
That almost never happens. So hold on, because I know these are important questions for all guys as well.
Well, she might have been quiet too that day. I mean, fuck, that's an awkward place. But I had no idea you could have a kid at 21 weeks old.
She was what, a pound? It was a pound.
You know what?
Nowadays, less than a cheeseburger.
Nowadays, with the medicines, the medical advances, it's amazing.
They basically must just put him in a fake womb for better, an incubator of some sort.
Really, yeah, they got it because the lungs are the worst.
I know my wife worked with a lady, she had two that were real preemie. They're like 2.5 pounds each. They're all fine now, but they couldn't be around anybody. It's just the parents.
It says here,
do you think that was intentional? That ripping up like she did it? Do you think it was an intentional slight where she was saying "fuck you"?
She's saying "fuck you."
Oh, of course she was.
You think it was?
I think it was also set up.
I don't know that. I think she was so pissed off.
I think it was set up.
No.
Or she at least had the idea of doing it.
I don't think she's good enough actor like that.
I don't know, man.
I think she just sat there holding her, biting her tongue the whole way. I bet your tongue was half chewed off.
Do you really believe that?
You really think she chewed her tongue off?
I do.
How about the woman afterwards? That response was fucking shit.
Man, she
was it bitter?
Michigan governor.
It's just bad. I mean, it just wasn't entertaining.
I listened to 2 minutes and I just...
Do you remember the Kennedy one? He was so terrible.
Kennedy?
Oh, yes. Was that last year?
He did the response.
Kennedy kid, yes. That was terrible.
I don't know who it was.
In fact, he got a lot of crap over it.
Hey, Daniel, you're going to have a partner. You guys, Mark. He has a beagle. He got a grant for CSU to have the brain tumor radiated for his beagle. Roger. This is Roger Evans, guys. So you're going to sit next to Dan. I'm going to put you over here. I didn't know you could do that for your animals. Like, get grants to get them treated medically up at CSU.
Seems like a lot of work.
He knew everything, Tom.
My dog's not doing it.
Apply for a grant. Seriously.
I just paid $1,000 in freaking vet bills.
Let me seat you down so we can go to the headphones with you.
Let's see.
You're going to sit right here. I got a water for you. Pizza's on its way.
Someone complained about it.
Roger, this is Mark Major.
I don't eat lunch. I don't eat until after 4.
This is Mark Szymanski with Genesis. Tom threw out a little trivia question about an old theme song that he used to use, and he didn't have the right answer that Tom was thinking of, but he did have a right answer. So, we're doing lunch. Have a seat. Just silence yourself.
Look at this asshole. Look at this review this asshole left. Let me find it. It's on SOS inspection. I'm positive it's the guy selling the car. I emailed him back. I said, please send me the report, and I haven't heard back yet. And it's been 2 days, so I'm going to delete it. But basically it says, oh, he wrote up a report that was untrue, and I decided I'd buy it anyhow. Then I had to check out. Everything Nora said was wrong, was absolutely perfect. I guarantee it's whoever was selling the car, and the guy didn't buy it, and he's being a dick. And the email it came from was bogus. No, Norris already knows.
No. Let's get him to send the report and get the guy.
There isn't a report. No one even... Norris doesn't know who it is. Norris is like, I have no idea who that is. It's someone that was trying to sell a car, though, that got screwed. How are you doing? What's your name?
Roger.
Nice to meet you, Roger.
Nice to meet you. No, but if we got Norris, if he's got a car that had a lot of crap wrong with it, maybe he could nail it. How many does he do?
A lot.
Oh, does he? A lot. That's the first complaint I've heard on him.
It's the only one I've heard on him. No. Here it is, right here.
Right,
here it is.
Commercial break, and so right now we're still on Facebook and YouTube.
Here it says, after I received the inspection, oh Lord, I just hated the car right away. However, the seller contacted me. I bought it anyhow, then I had it checked out at the dealer. And then he goes on to say how it was in perfect shape, not one thing wrong. My ass. My ass. But I emailed the guy. I called the phone number, nothing, no answer. I emailed him, no reply in 2 days. And all I said was, please send me the report, because if this is true, there's a big problem with this company I need to handle. But there is no fucking report.
Hey.
Coughing, sneezing, and nasal congestion.
Roger
You can wake up feeling
Hey,
like
Mark,
new music night shift.
Mark, what's last name?
Roger Evans.
Roger Evans. He's deputy in training. Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
Hey, Doc, what's the difference between like a doctor, an MD, and a chiropractor?
Oh, huge difference. Oh, come on. No, I know. Chiropractic is a scam. Doctors. No, they're. Wait a second. If chiropractors, if you believe that manipulation will cure some mild injuries, that's one thing. But they can't cure everything. Of course. And most of them, absolutely. There's most of them are charlatans. Right. Most of them, they want you to come back every week, every week.
I feel like you're a brother. Mark.
You're right. You're right on that.
He's the one that does the calcium infusions.
What the hell does that mean?
I've talked to him for years.
What is calcium infusion?
He has a disease.
Oh, yes. You've talked.
And his body does not absorb calcium.
So you go to the doctor and they give you calcium?
You called in like 2 months ago. I believe. So Mark,
he calls in all the time. He moved.
You're from Colorado
so you
Springs.
buy a home. You moved to Pueblo,
yeah,
right?
I tried to have Frank Duran give me a home here, but he couldn't.
I remember that.
My house in Pueblo.
Very cool.
I will never be homeless.
That is so cool.
No, I remember you.
Yeah, I'm happy to meet you finally.
Yeah, me too. You don't know how
We're
long
on. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. As you know, this show is all about help. We help people in all kinds of ways, every way you can imagine, and including thehormonebros.com. Yep. This hour brought to you by thehormonebros.com. This is a serious topic, okay? They do BioT. BioT is a delivery system of testosterone and estrogen via a pellet. The pellet is subcutaneous, they call it. It's under the skin, in the fat, and it secretes in your system like a gland would. So the more active you are, the more it secretes, the less. It's wonderful delivery, BioT. And by the way, they do more than that. TheHormoneBros.com, they do cosmetic procedures. They do facelifts and what's called a thread lift, which is very economical. TheHormoneBros.com, 2 locations, and they're really good people. Oh, 1 now. That's right. Ken Carroll and 470. They just consolidated into that. And Mark, did you have something to say?
No, I just want to go to that business owner. That was it.
Let's do it, because you know why? It is such a cool idea. What you want to go to the sign guy? I want to go first. I got to get Bob on, because we had somebody die in a condo, and the guy downstairs says, I can't get rid of the odor. Years ago, a guy comes to me at Channel 4 and says, I got something you got to see. And then I did it as a new product. He said it'll get rid of any odor. I don't know where he got it, but it was a secret sauce, and it was almost like magic. I mean, the demonstrations he gave me blew me away. And I wondered where he went all these years. And so, Bob, somebody talked about smell, and I remembered your name because it's Stink Ink. How do you forget Stink Ink? So, Bob, are you there?
I am, Tom. How are you, sir?
Good. I haven't seen you in how long? 30 years?
Oh, I'd say maybe it's been about 8-9 years. Like that,
I saw you that recent. I thought it was longer than that, because I was
someplace in there. Yeah, working on your motorhome. You still run your motorhome?
That was 15 years ago since I had a motorhome. But anyway, let's talk about your product, Stinking. Do you still have it?
Product and service. Yeah, I'm a manufacturer as well as a service provider for anything for environmental air quality.
What do you do?
The board, except radon.
What do you do for a guy that has a dead smell from somebody dying upstairs? Seriously.
First thing I would tell them not to paint, because everyone's going to tell them to try and paint over and try and seal that odor into that drywall, because what's happened is with that organic decay odor, which is an off-gassing, that permeates into porous surfaces like drywall and attaches to surfaces no different than, say, a smoke odor.
Okay.
And so what we would do is remove and treat with non-toxic biodegradable products that we manufacture the source of the problem, which is where this odor has permeated into things like insulations, drywall, and things of this nature, and treat the problem at the source, because what we're smelling is the symptom, which is our airspace. We want to actually address the source, which is this permeation of this off-gassing that has gotten into the building materials itself.
But it does. So do you remove, Bob, do you remove the building materials?
We do cost-benefit analysis. Sometimes it may make sense to do that if someone's doing a remodel or something like that, or if it's an extraordinarily tough situation, no different than like a bad water damage. But typically we can treat to the point of where we know a good sealant or paint is going to hold the residual or maybe the remaining 10%. But with that said, our techniques with our service and products will remove the bulk, if not all, of those odors.
That's what I thought, without rebuilding if you don't have to. And the other thing is, do you treat – okay, here's a better question. How do you know even where to treat? It's his condo. It could be, but it came from upstairs. Did it get into his stuff, or is it upstairs?
Well, first we're going to focus on where that organic decay originated. So wherever that, whether it's a dead squirrel or a larger entity like a person, we want to locate where it is, and then we know that's going to be the worst place because that's where the odor originated.
Yeah.
A lot of that decomposition took place. And then once we take care of the worst spot, then the remainder of the house becomes much easier to clarify in terms of the extent of damage.
Can you track odor? Can you track like a pattern or the spread of odor?
There is some technology out there on the industrial and agricultural side of my business, but it's not something that we've seen economies of scale to put into a house at this point in time.
Okay. All right. So you also, even if you treat, like if someone upstairs cooks Indian or they have terrible odors all the time. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if you treat, if in fact they keep contaminating, right?
Correct. Yeah, no different than cat odor or smoke odors or mold for that matter. If I can't stop the water damage, the cat urinating, the smoker smoking,
right,
or the person cooking, without good preventative maintenance in place, that's where we educate as well, as to help people avoid or better control the byproduct of these situations.
All right, so Bob, thanks a lot for talking. And again, I don't know Bob for many, many years, but I knew he had this product, and it's an amazing product. 303-886-4719. Again, they're not on the referral list. I'm not telling you that because they're bad or good. I'm just saying that because I don't really know a lot, except back in the day, this product was amazing. He thought it was 8 or 9 years ago. My God, I mean, it's funny how time flies. It was way more than that because he treated my motorhome. I remember that. I think the guy smoked that had a previous motorhome. I bought it from a guy that used to take it to the Indianapolis 500, and he would do it. They had this infield place or some place for rich people, and he had this bus he used, and he only had a few miles on it because he would only take it there. I remember that, and he took the odor out. So, Georgine, on bankruptcy for your daughter, Chapter 7. Again, a lot of people feel better about a Chapter 13. A Chapter 13 is where they figure out what your extra income is, and then based on what you have exempt, whatever you don't have exempt and you want to keep, you have to pay in along with the disposable income. They come up through this hocus pocus. They come up with a formula. Your attorney presents it to the judge. The creditors have a right to protest. And then if the judge approves it, the debtor makes payments to the court for either 36 months or 48 or 60 months. And then after that, the debt is called forgiven, all of it, even if you only made portions. But it's a good faith attempt to pay what you can
for a certain length of time. Again, the formula they use, I don't want to get into right now. I don't really know, but any good bankruptcy attorney will explain this. The other one is a Chapter 7, and that is where they take all non-exempt property and sell it, or you pay for it. Like, for example, if you have a car, you're allowed to have a couple grand equity in it. If you have more than that, you have to buy it down. You have to actually pay it into the court to keep it, or you let them sell it. With the house, I forget the exemption, but it's somewhere around 50 or 60,000 in equity. Anything above it, and I think it's increased if you're married, anything above it is subject to a trustee. And that's really the long and short of it. A Chapter 7, most people do. Even I'll venture to say about half of the people that enter into a 13 end up converting it to a 7 anyway. So that's bankruptcy, Georgine.
Okay. So your recommendation then is
if you are my sister, I'm not going to give legal advice here or even debt advice because I don't know every situation. But if my sister came to me and said I'm a teacher with 40 grand in debt and I don't have any assets, I'd say do a Chapter 7. That's what I would say to her. And it would cost her about $1,400 maybe if it was a simple one, and that would be it.
With the lawyer.
Yeah, and I would go to Wink and Wink. They're good people on our referral list for many years. There are other ones on there that have been there a long time. Noyes has been there. His last name is Noyes. I believe it's Noyes. But any of those. Wink and Wink is 303-410-1720. And I believe it's Michael Noyes, if I recall. He's been with us for years. But go to the referrallist.com, and pick a really good bankruptcy attorney. The consultations will be free, so you can take that information and do what you want with it. Rick took an HOA to small claims court. They lawyered up, and they won. Now we have John. And coming back, I want to give him time. I don't want to rush him. We found someone who said they paid him a lot of money and got nothing. We tried calling and got no response. Mark said he had a bad feeling about the guy. He's on the line and wants to talk. So that's a really important call because whenever a business calls in, we give them the utmost respect and let them tell their piece. We also have a follow-up on an update on a sale, a car sale, where this older man was sold on an $8,000 car, I believe. Well, no, it may have not been $8,000. I don't know what the car was worth he bought, but he had $8,000 in add-ons with paint protection, sealant, and all of that. $8,000, and they gave him less than half of his trade-in value.
Weekdays 2 to 4. The Situation.
That fucking guy.
His political career is done.
Hey Tom, that lady you sent
You think anybody else will jump ship?
Is the restroom open on this
lady
level?
you sent us lady is back. If she sent it through FedEx or UPS,
FixMyHome.com. Remember the name. $750 off your furnace. If you have any furnace issues whatsoever, they will come out and look at any problem you have for $39. If it turns out that you have work done, they'll credit you the $39. But there is no charge if anyone is pitching you on a furnace or a major repair on your furnace. It's a free second opinion. And when they come out, if you decide to have a furnace put in by them, you make your best deal and take off an additional $750. FixMyHome.com.
First of all, it's not impeachable. Everybody says
that's what he's saying it is.
What is?
Mormon man.
Mitt Romney.
I started my first business in the basement of a
man with 12 wives.
30 years ago. We had no heat and no air conditioning.
Oh, that's all right. I'll tell her on the air, but you can tell her right now if you want, and that is anything not allowed. Okay, it's really anything not. In other words, you're allowed to have a certain value of a car and a certain equity in your home. Anything above it is not exempt. So that's it.
I'm sorry? Oh yeah, there's where is it? There's one on each side. Are they low or too high or too low? Yeah, just Dan, yep. I am Dan.
Stephanie here today?
Who? No. Wednesday she goes to Bible study.
Sorry?
On Wednesday she goes to Bible study.
For real? When we used to have the poke game in my house, the guys would come to the gate and tell the guard, "I'm going to Ken's Bible study," and it was our poker game.
So you were talking to Frank a little bit yesterday.
Well, we started, and then Tom made a very cogent statement. So it's funny, we're talking about the guy who had his voice box screwed up, that guy. So one of the things that this guy Richard Dawkins says about why he doesn't believe in intelligent design is there's something called the recurrent laryngeal nerve. So the nerve that innervates your vocal cords comes out of your 10th cranial nerve. It goes all the way down to your diaphragm and then comes back up to your voice box.
Did you do this research after we just had this?
No, I'm just doing something different.
Oh.
I'm just saying, so he said, what intelligent designer would do that? In a giraffe, it's like 14 feet long of extra nerve.
So why does it do that? Why, there's got to be a reason the body does this.
Well, because from a evolutionary concept, it had to do with when fish came to reptiles to mammals, the nerve went to the gills, and as it got longer and longer, from an evolutionary sense, it got stretched out. So he said, what intelligent designer would design a giraffe with an extra a nerve that goes all the way down its neck and back up again to its voice box?
And is there? I didn't hear the whole story. Damn it! It sounds interesting.
No, we're talking about intelligent design.
Yeah. And you said, why would they do that? What's the explanation?
The nerve that innervates your larynx is from the 10th cranial nerve.
Right.
So it comes out here, goes all the way down to the diaphragm, and back up again. And so the people who believe in evolution are saying, what intelligent designer would do that? But there's an evolutionary reason for it, which is that originally it innervated the gills and then it went down to the lungs and so forth and so on. So over millions of years, it got stretched out. But if you were designing it and say, okay, I'm designing a human being, you would have the nerve go 4 inches instead of 6 feet.
We gotta
That's all.
get out real quick. I gotta pack up because there's not much time in between. Yep.
It's kind of interesting.
And I'm sure.
Well, that one thing solved me.
Ross is right before
I'm
us.
done.
Well, there's this between believing in God and intelligent design. They're two separate things.
Yeah, but there are. You see, there's a whole universe of beliefs you're just discounting, and that is there are those who believe that there was an intelligent design or a beginning with set in motion certain evolutionary, but the certain evolutionary things. If you look at the evolution that I believe in, is it is an evolution to an extent. It is and it's a wonderful science. And there's a book written on it, which is really good. He's a scientist that wrote it. In fact, he's not and never will be probably religious. But it's really, I gotta get the name of the book. It's really cool because it talks about stuff like that. Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. RealCBDThatWorks.com. That's where you get CBD that works, Panacea Life Sciences in gold, and RealCBDThatWorks.com. Listen, we were talking about bankruptcy, and people, I did get an email on what do you mean by exclusion, non-exempt or exemptions? Okay, basically this. If you're going to go bankrupt, here are things you're not allowed to have. Okay? That's called non-exempt. Or a better way to put it is, here are things you're allowed to have, exempt. Like a certain amount of work tools, exempted. A certain amount of tools. A certain amount of equity in a car, exempted. A certain amount of equity in a home, exempted. Now, some states had 100% exemption on home equity. In Texas, I don't know if it's still like that or was like that. These guys from Enron took all their ill-gotten gains and bought multi-million-dollar houses that could not be touched. Paid cash for them. So we're going to keep going. This is an important call. John is with Illumination Signs. I know Mark wanted to be here, Suzanne. I'm sorry he's not. He really wanted to be here for this call. But if you want to text him, John with Illumination Signs and Graphics is having some hardship. Now, the calls that came in, or the call that came in was from a guy that said he, and Deputy Doc, you handled this. It was Colorado Crust Pizza Company, paid $6,500.
Correct.
And what did the sign company, did you investigate it, or did you ever talk to the sign company?
No, I left a couple of messages, which is why he's calling back now.
Okay, good. So we just wanted to know what happens when someone takes money and doesn't do a job. There is a Contractors Trust Act in Colorado. I think he would fall under a contractor because he's contracted to do a sign. And it says when you take money for a job, it must be entrusted for that job and used only for that job. Now, obviously, they're talking about the accounting practice and that you have to have the money available. And did we get the consumer back on? Is he on?
I can call him, Tom.
Yeah, let's call him because he's probably interested in what John will say. And I know Mark is interested because Mark had a bad feeling from the get-go. Now, John, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Right now, it's a very simple question. Do you have the man's money?
I have the man's products.
Oh!
I'm building his signs.
That's good. So why did he call us?
I didn't spend his money on anything else but his signs.
Good. Why did he call us?
I've had a hardship for the past 6 months.
Okay.
My wife has been ill off and on for the past few years, and she just developed worse, and we just lost her on the 17th of last month.
Wow. That's hard to deal with.
I had lost my sister on Thanksgiving. And my wife was in IUC for 25 days at Penrose.
So your wife succumbed to her disease or her illness just recently, but you say you've been dealing with it for many months.
Oh, yes. For the past 6 months here, that's why I fell behind on all my jobs.
I can understand that if you're a sole proprietor and things happen. I can understand that totally.
Brother, my business, I've been in business here since 2002.
Okay.
And it's been my wife and me, my nephews. I had a couple of helpers before, but I had to let them go because they were on drugs.
Okay.
And I tried to explain, some of my customers, are good with it. But I took this work on in the middle of my wife getting more ill. And she got so bad to where she couldn't even think. I mean, she had an aneurysm explode in her on the 17th of the month at 9:30 in the morning at Penrose, and we lost her. And I've been going through a nightmare here just with the funeral, loved ones coming into town.
I hear you, John. I hear you. What you want to make it clear it wasn't intentional and you went through a hardship. Now what? What do you think? Do you think the sign will be done soon?
Yes, it's going to be a couple of weeks more here, but his signs will go up on the building just like the other signs went up on the building where he's at. I'm dealing with the owner of the building myself. That's what the project first started as. And I fell behind with him too.
Okay. All right. So
it's just when you don't have the right kind of help right now and you're going through what I went through. I mean,
I don't know what I would do, John. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. I don't know what I would do, but I do imagine it would be difficult. Listen, we get calls all the time about contractors that have problems, and some of them are legit, some of them are not. If you lost your wife and you were dealing with a critical illness, look, at my heart goes out to you. But now I'm asking, do you have many other customers in the same boat that are waiting?
Well, of course.
I mean, where you've taken the money?
I have 3 other customers that are waiting for me to complete the jobs. But that doesn't mean that I spent their money on myself.
Well, that means you either have the money or the materials.
I'm building their signs at my shop.
Right. That's what I said. You either have the money or the materials.
Right. I've got all the material.
Okay. I mean, I'm taking out your word. Mark?
Well, when are they going to be finished? Let's just talk about the pizza guy.
I have no idea.
Well, okay. He's missing business every day. That can affect his family every single day, man. You don't even know there's a pizza place there when you drive through and there's no sign. This affects his life.
Okay, so what does he do?
They got banners up on their walls.
Okay.
And he's waiting right now for these signs to be done. And I'm going to do the first signs here this week sometime.
So, Mark, what do you suggest? I mean, there's nothing we can do right now.
If he's going to do it this week, that's great. But that's not what he said the first time.
He said a couple of weeks.
Well, he says he doesn't know.
No, that's the next set of letters that go on the other side of the building that I'm working on.
So how much of the job did you get completed already? So you've had your jobs completed already.
I've got one whole set of his letters almost all the way done to go on the building.
Okay, listen, like John, obviously, we get a call, we're following it up, and we're all a little heightened and sensitized when this happens.
I've got nothing to hide. I'm a good sign company that fell behind.
Well, I certainly don't want to destroy your business if you're not. Listen, if you're good at what you do and you've had a thriving business, I certainly don't want to be the one to destroy it. But at the same time, I hope you're holding off on taking additional funds and taking on additional work until these are all done.
Well, of course, I have not taken on nothing else.
And your reviews are pretty good. I'm looking at pretty good reviews online.
I have real good reviews online.
Do we have the caller up?
I don't know where he is.
I can't reach him. I've tried.
Okay. So listen, John, thanks at least for calling and for getting in touch with us, for letting us know what's going on. I'd like to keep the line of communication open.
Is there an actual date that you can say will be the latest for the pizza guy?
I'm not going to say because I'm not.
All right. So it's not even 2025 is how I read this.
Oh no, it's.
Mark is a very literal person.
Give us something like a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year. What are you talking?
His whole sign package will be done within 2 weeks here.
Good.
Perfect.
So we got a time. Good.
Perfect.
Yeah. As I said, John, he's a very literal person, and he will hold you to something. And you know what? There's nothing really wrong with that. I mean, you know, this has been a problem for the guy in business.
And you got to understand something too, okay? His permits are pulled because I'm a contractor.
Yes.
His permits are pulled on that building. His signs will go up.
Okay.
All the other signs that are in that shopping center have been put up, except for a couple of faces that the people didn't give me their artwork. But that's separate.
You know what? This is all good news. This is all good news.
It's all good news,
It's
John.
going to be done in 2 weeks, man. I am happy, John. Thank you.
John, I hope you have a support system here for your loss, by the way, and that you continue and you do well. So I really do.
Yeah,
I mean,
my wife is in heaven. Okay. And that's the most important thing.
All right, John.
In my life.
John, and it's important that you keep going. Thank you for letting us know.
This is Denver's.
Don't bring up the name of Otto.
No.
Do that one.
That's a sad story.
Well, I don't know. Whatever.
Well, I didn't, and I won't. I don't know if it's necessary.
I don't think
Tony, pizza's here, you guys.
He never.
I have a spot.
He never brought it. I got a spot.
What do I have coming up?
I have a spot.
What do you got?
It's my spot.
What do you got?
Hey, come on, Roger. Come on in and have some pizza.
All right, sir.
I'm going to go a little long.
I'm going to leave a message for Andrew. That's he said 2 weeks. If he has an answering machine.
So Suzanne must not have been able to get a hold of him, huh? She tried to get a hold of him, I guess.
You know, when I endorse a company, I sit down, I talk with the owner, and after I am very, very clear about how I operate and how they have to operate if I'm going to be their spokesperson, then I get what's called bullet points. When Master Rooter sent me over the bullet points, which makes them better than all the other plumbers out there, here's what they sent me. Listen to these. 10% off discounts for military and senior citizens. 10% off for single income families. Free estimates. No trip charge in the Denver metro area. All their technicians and plumbers are licensed, bonded, and insured. Sewer replacements up to 50% off the other people. 24/7 emergency service. Oh my goodness, they're a full service plumbing company with wonderful prices. Master Rooter Plumbing. 720-434-3406. Write it down. You're going to need a plumber at some point. 720-434-3406.
Do you ever read these Quora questions?
You can put anything up on Quora.
Right, I know, but they're pretty interesting things.
Oh, yeah. Which kind are you looking at?
Okay, here, my neighbor's 15-year-old kid was kicking my friend's dog. As soon as I saw this, I went over and pushed the kid and took the dog to safety. Now my neighbors are saying I assaulted their kid and they are going to take me to court. What should I do?
I'd say it, but what are they going to take him to court for? Tell them there's nothing to take him to court.
That's the guy's step.
If there's no damages, you could call the cops and create a criminal aspect.
And not only that is that they stop the person from committing a crime.
Well, all that's hearsay, and it doesn't matter because, like in Colorado, a dog is a piece of property. It's a whole different deal. In other words, if the kid was kicking a fucking keyboard and I went over and pushed the kid, that's the same as him doing a dog in this state.
But the judge might look at it as a little different too.
Thank you.
I don't know. All states are different, but in general, what's he taking the court for? Is he saying the kid had to go to the doctor? If so, he could go get the doctor's bills.
Yeah, said did anything more and stuff.
So what we call that is a ghetto question.
You know how neighbors and stuff are always, and that's why schools are so bad, because they're willing to listen to angry parents, and the school boards are usually wussies.
But they don't do anything the other side.
Mark, you can go on about the car dealer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
I want to hear the outcome.
I can't believe Romney. I can't believe it. What? His political career.
Did he vote? Did he vote to impeach that?
He's going to. He said.
And what he says, my God will not allow me to do, Yeah. So let me tell you, when he ran, I mean, I thought he would have been a good president, but he was a wuss.
He hates Trump. I mean, that's
right. And that's really what it is. So I think his God knows
I am confused here, though. I thought he was getting acquitted today.
They're voting.
But is there a difference between acquittal and the 2/3?
Yeah, I thought there was. They're voting on.
So there's not. For whatever reason, I know what I'm thinking of. Witnesses had to be.
Right. They already did that.
Witnesses had to be 51.
That was a simple majority.
Okay, I understand.
The acquittal or.
So there is no way in the world 2/3 would go this way. We need one Democrat to come over so both sides can say, here. I hope Trump does this.
There's always like 3 of them that are saying they might come over.
I hope he stomps fucking him, and I hope he stomps anybody that's got a swing district.
Do you remember, who used to be the senator from Nevada, who used to be the Senate majority? What was his name?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Also Mormon.
Republican?
No, Democrat.
Democrat.
Mormon,
Harry Reid.
Harry Reid went on when he was running saying how Romney cheated on his taxes and all this, and that after they proved it wasn't, after it's done, they proved it wasn't, and they said, so Senator Reid, we found out that what you weren't was telling the truth. You know what Reed said?
What?
Yeah, we won.
Well, that's what
and he didn't go after him. So where was his? I tell you what, Romney is. I really thought he was going to be good, and the guy has no balls.
They're all crooked.
He has no balls.
What was his comment? We don't have
Here's what kills me. The state of Utah has given its electoral votes to the Republican ticket in every election since 1968.
So yeah,
how's he ever going to survive this? He must be done.
But he's got 4 more years to go. In fact,
I mean, he may be running. For
Let's
president.
give his phone number out on the show.
Trump recommended him as being the senator for that. But what were you saying, Mark? What was the?
Well, remember when he was running for president? His one comment: "We don't care about these people. That's all we have to care about. These 4%."
No. The 50%.
Yeah, that's right.
He said there's 50% or what was
47%.
47%. No matter what we do, we'll never vote.
Which is true.
No, it's not true. No. Trump fucking smashed that thing.
Yeah.
Smashed it, Doc. Trump has more Democrats in his deal than any Republican ever has ever.
More than Reagan?
And stuff.
They said if he gets 14% of the black vote this time, man, there's nothing anybody in the world could ever do.
What do you mean?
It was just one little thing I read yesterday.
Does he get a minority vote? Trump?
He will this time because no one's on that side. What did that last state proved it? No one wants to get out and vote. No one likes any of them.
And it really depends upon
Biden will get out the black vote.
Well, actually, Bernie will not the black vote, but Bernie gets them kids going.
Right, but the black vote's going to go to Biden.
You know why? Because he gives them beer and pizza at the rallies.
Mark, they love him.
They do.
Yeah, we only get pizza, no beer.
Tom Martino here. Genesis Total Exteriors in the house, and they do interiors too. Been on my referral list for many years. We're going to talk to Rick about an interesting case with an HOA. And we have a common man who has been calling in the show many years. I remember him because, first of all, it was very unusual. He had a disease where he required infusions of calcium 3 times a week.
What is that, like a shot?
It's a blood. It looks like a blood transfusion, but
so
it's a
clear
liquid.
So it comes out, they put it in the blood, and it goes back in.
I don't know where they get it, but it's pure calcium he's given in a transfusion into his bloodstream. Your body does not absorb. Is that how it is? You just do it for him. It doesn't absorb calcium, your body? Is that what it is?
Yes, Tom, that's correct.
It does not absorb calcium, and it's because of your thyroid?
Parathyroid.
And you've had this need for infusions for many years, but you were born with the condition, and there are only 1,500 in the entire world?
Roughly.
That we know of, right? Because some people might just die from it because you get spasms and convulsions.
Right.
And I'm sorry, without calcium, I understand probably brittle bones and stuff, but I mean, what else? What does calcium
Muscles,
do to make
mainly.
us alive?
It keeps my muscles working.
Got it. So, I mean, you'd literally be paralyzed without it.
Right.
Oh, he would have a grand mal seizure, whatever you call it. He would have a major seizure, or your diaphragm would stop.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
He wouldn't breathe.
So they've been giving you these transfusions forever?
Since 2003.
Now, before that, he had the disease, but no one knows why he didn't need them. Did you need any calcium before that?
Supplements, tablets.
Okay, like tablets. But really, this is interesting for those people that take calcium for their supplements.
Yeah, those little chewies or whatever.
For their bones.
Yeah.
Your bones don't absorb it. He's living proof. He has to have it in his bloodstream. And
yeah, but he survived off those up until 2004.
Okay.
Right.
But his need for calcium. Okay, why don't you explain that?
My need for calcium has increased substantially.
Yeah, right. But they've actually measured after taking supplements, haven't they?
Yes,
You're one of the few people that actually had this done. Well, explain that.
Well, I saw doctors in Philadelphia.
And they actually measured supplements, right? You took supplements and they measured your blood.
Correct.
What did they find?
That my calcium was always low.
Right. It did not increase your calcium.
No, it did not.
Now,
here's what I'm getting at is for years and years, the doctor who I call my guru for years that started the low-carb kick before anyone in the world 35 years ago.
Even before Atkins?
Yes, before Atkins. Way before Atkins. And he had started, I believe he worked for some cancer research anyway, or diabetes. But the point is that he said taking calcium orally is ridiculous. It does not help your bone density at all. Zero. It does put calcium in your system, yes, but it does not. It'll help your muscles, but it will never increase bone density. So you probably did not have a bone density issue at that time. You had mainly muscle issues.
Correct.
But anyone taking calcium for bone density, it's just not going to work. I mean, it just doesn't. And it's amazing. And then people say, well, if I take it with magnesium, it will. No, it won't. You're never going to make bone. You're never going to add to your bone density. It's just not going to happen with
you know what I think would be super cool?
Total Nutrition can do it over time, but it doesn't. There's nothing directly. Yes.
I like how BioT creates that pellet, but they only have a couple things in it. Why can't they put all the vitamins,
Mark,
everything in there?
I asked about pellets for other stuff. I asked him if he could do pellets. His need is too great. But that would be an infusion into the bloodstream.
I mean, everything you lack to get you to where you're supposed to be.
That is, I mean, I thought, what a brilliant delivery system. Now, I do know there are other drugs they're experimenting with. They put in pellet form. And
that's slowly release.
Yes, and they're experimenting with others. Okay.
Geez, can you imagine as time goes on, we actually have some place on our hip or something that's almost like a pocket.
Like
you open
a port,
it up. A port. You pop it in, boom, 3 months later, you look at your body, you get your blood work, your new pod comes out.
You're right, Mark. You're right. There are a subcutaneous delivery is one of the things people are working on. Another one is spray in the mouth because it's such a good delivery system.
That's how they do some of the flu shots.
Rick, what were you suing your HOA for?
Well, they broke into a ski locker and took my belongings.
And why did they do it?
Well, they had lost track of who owned these ski lockers, and I was one of the unfortunate 2 that got their locks cut.
But did they admit it was wrong, it was a mistake?
Not really.
Well, did they have a record of you? How did you know it was yours? Did you have a record of it?
I bought it 15 years ago, and I cannot reproduce the check I wrote from 15 years ago. I tried to get that from the bank, and it's just too long ago.
It could be that you lost it, and because you lost the case because of proof and nothing to do with whether or not they had an attorney. Hold on a sec, though, because I want to give you time, and then we can address it.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by La Quinta by Wyndham.
No major problems on the highway drive across
town. Off highway, well, that's
where
the trouble's
I just want to talk really quickly about this.
225 interchange to watch out.
You went down there.
I'd just like you to talk about northbound Santa Fe Bridge on Mississippi. They're trying to get that out of the way. A couple of other off-highway accidents to watch out for.
Right. Where's she at? Oh, she's in Denver. You gotta come up here for your transfer.
No, he doesn't come to Denver.
It's going to be sunny
today.
Actually, though, but his transfusions, that's why he moved there to Pueblo, so he could be close to a hospital.
What is that? What are those people that have to go in like once every...
Dialysis.
Yeah, is it just like dialysis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, dialysis purifies... Well, they don't pull out your blood and purify it and put it back in, do they?
Wyndham Rewards members get access to
They don't purify. They don't purify it. They add to it.
Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow, you try.
Okay, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Let me just find it somewhere.
But if someone looked at you, it's just like dialysis.
Sorry.
John Fuller, Fuller Law, the guy that you need when you have an injury. If you've been injured in a traffic accident, John Fuller is really our traffic accident expert. Whether you are a pedestrian or you were on a bicycle or a big rig hit your car or you had your car or truck wrecked, he can help you right away. In other words, he'll go over the case with you. He's a friendly face, and he is someone who will truly analyze your situation. You can trust him. Then if he takes the case you know that he has a pretty good indication he can collect something because he knows how to collect. That's the other important thing. John Fuller, Fuller Law. It's personalinjuryco.com, 303-597-4500.
A Smart Garage Door now offers the ultimate in security and accessibility for your garage door.
So I didn't know that. They are actually, that your blood is going outside of you recirculating.
I don't know. I have a port.
I understand that, but that your blood goes out to a machine and comes back into you.
No, that would be dialysis.
That's right. You said it was exactly like a dialysis.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm curious about. I didn't know that your blood goes into a machine and recirculates.
No, they infuse it through machines. They infuse the calcium through machines.
I understand that.
Oh, then inject the calcium into the bloodstream.
Right.
So your blood doesn't leave your body.
No, they
Got
fill
it.
up blood to do that.
It's almost like an IV.
Like a drip.
But dialysis is completely...
Well, for the dialysis, you got the pistulas.
They come out and you go back in.
Yeah, your dialysis literally exchanges your blood.
Hey, you were wrong, by the way, on your doctor.
What are you talking about?
Atkins was 72. His first book came out.
Oh, okay.
48 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But health-wise, in the whole thing, I know what you are correct. Atkins just knew you'd lose weight.
He wrote Low Carb in 72.
First book, Atkins' Diet.
Shit.
Was his all like the old?
The only reason I knew that is I remember my mom
My
on
mom
the Atkins.
did it too. My mom did it too. And she lost. And then she just quit doing it for a while. Well.
Doc's delivered 1,000 babies.
Oh, really?
You know what he says?
More than 1,000.
All hoo-hoos look the same.
Well, you're born with the George syndrome.
Yep.
At birth.
This is
so my illness mark is called the George syndrome. You're born with it. You're missing DNA on chromosome 22.
Ah. Won't it be nice when they can go in and fucking fix that?
If they can give you genetic therapy or something.
That's what I'm saying.
It won't be long.
It's not going to happen in your life or mine, but it's going to happen.
My son's at CSU, and he's talking to somebody, and they're talking about how they take chromosome and they're adding shit to it.
Your son's at CSU? What, is he a doctor? Or
he's doing biomedical engineering, which that's right.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
What year?
Well,
is it biomedical?
No, I'm sorry. Chemical biology.
Okay, so yeah, Derek's biomedical and mechanical engineering.
Where is it? Is it Boulder?
No, CSU.
Or I mean,
Fort Collins.
Don't they have a Denver CSU or no?
Yeah, it's CU.
No, but there's no Denver CSU? Okay.
Well, my son loved his school.
Yeah, there's CU Denver, I know that.
No, he graduated.
Why CSU over CU for you? Because the engineering?
No, because he had issues. And he couldn't get into CU.
Did you see Charles Crouch's comment on Mark? The dick comment. I mean, it wasn't cussing or anything.
What is it?
He just says you have a shitty attitude for the show. He didn't.
So do you.
Who said that? Everybody?
Charles Crouch.
Yeah, Charles.
Love your show. Been listening way back when Father John was on there. But Mark's attitude is going to ruin this show.
Only for the last 6 years, buddy.
Crouch is a grouch.
Crouch is a grouchy moron.
I remember Mike Bassett. That's what I
Crouch the Grouch.
Oh, yeah, Mike Bassett.
Crouch the Grouch.
Did you tell me that on the air or off the air? Because I have to correct it on the air if we never did it. Did you tell me that about...
You said it on the air.
No. Did you say about Atkins 72 on the air?
No.
Okay. We have to correct that.
I'll correct you.
No, because you have a shitty attitude. You can't do that.
No, seriously. You have to... I just don't... I just assume.
You know what it is? It's another Democrat Crouchy. Crouchy the Dem.
Do you know who he is? Is that name?
I have no idea.
What are we
talking about? Honestly, I could
somebody
care
wrote
less.
an email to Suzanne.
Someone's been listening since Father John 25 years ago. And with me on the show, you might ruin it.
The show is great.
So apparently he hasn't known I've been on for 6 years, but...
And even longer before that.
And even longer before that, dumbass. You can see I take criticism very nicely.
Finally made one.
I remember that when Atkins first came out and that, there were so many said,
by the way,
that's the worst thing you can do.
60.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Why was he so advanced in that?
I don't know. Maybe at one point he just did it and noticed the weight drop. Right. But he was a doctor.
Yeah, but he wasn't...
I worked for the airlines for a long time.
What did you do?
I worked at, I started out at World Airways up in the Bay Area.
World Airways?
San Francisco.
I don't remember.
I got on here in Denver at Continental at Stapleton.
Doing what?
Worked at Continental for 10 years.
What'd you do there?
Reservations, ticket counter.
Oh, to count the wings? Yeah. Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, so Rick lost his case. Rick, HOA, small claims court, what were you suing him for?
Well, I was suing for the max of $7,500.
For your skis?
Well, it was actually ski. It wasn't ski equipment. It was mostly ski apparel that was valued at about $1,300.
Okay. So bottom line is you sued him and you lost. I think I have no idea, but I think you lost probably because you can't even prove it was your locker.
Well, they alleged that. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Did you prove it? Now, remember, when you go to court, you're going into court with a fresh slate. That judge doesn't say, oh, well, Rick, I believe you. I mean, what did you show as evidence? By the way, that's not why you called. I want to know why you called, but I'm just curious. What did you show as evidence that you owned the locker and the stuff inside belonged to you?
Well, there was actually identification on my ski pass was on the jacket I lost.
Rick, I'm asking you what you showed the judge. You can't just say I had identification in there. Did the HOA said, oh, yeah, Your Honor, you're right. There was his name written on the jacket. Now, that would be proof. Is that what happened?
Well, I produced a newsletter that showed when they sold these to owners.
Anyway, keep going with your story. Let's forget that because I understand you didn't really have evidence. So what happened then?
Well, I lost.
But what was the ruling? Was it because of that, or was it because of a lawyer, or what was the point of the call? You wanted to call us about they lawyered up. Did they move it out of small claims court when they lawyered up, Rick?
They did not.
So what happened then?
I lost, and 2.5 months later, I received a notification of judgment in the tune of almost $9,000.
For attorney's fees?
Yeah.
You don't always get attorney's fees, that's what's puzzling to me. It must have been so egregious or frivolous because attorney's fees are seldom granted, not even more than not granted. Wow.
The attorney argued that it was in the newly revised Colorado laws that applies to HOAs.
Is it? Did you verify it?
No, not specifically.
How long ago did this happen, this case?
The court date was November 12th.
Oh, so it was just of 2019, just a few months ago.
Correct.
And now they want you to pay $9,000. Wow.
Wait. Something's totally wrong.
No, it's totally wrong. Did they offer to settle before that or anything at all? It just sounds weird, Rick, that you took them to court and they lawyered up.
In small claims court.
Well, yeah. I attended a board meeting, which was part of the process that the bylaws require. You're supposed to go to a board hearing to try to settle.
And what happened to the board hearing?
They offered me $100.
Okay. Rick, I kind of see why you lost. I don't know if I agree with that $9,000 in attorney's fees, but it does sound frivolous to me, Rick, not because you're not telling the truth, but you had no hope or prayer of winning. I don't even know why you did it. It's almost like you knew you were going to lose because, and we can discuss it, but I'd like to get our HOA expert on about that attorney fee thing to see what that statute says. But, Mark, it seems to me that there's no way he could have proven it. I mean, you'll say, well, Your Honor, there was an ID tag right in the locker, I mean, that just makes no sense to me. Hold on. We'll talk about this and more coming up. If Rick would like to stay on, it's up to him. I think, does he want us to help him? We can get Stan to address the attorney's fees.
Yeah. Got names like that. But also, I thought he said he had $1,300 worth of stuff, and he was suing for $7,500.
But here's what I want to know.
I don't understand how the hell they got a $9,000 judgment, or he hasn't even got there yet. Did they kick it up to county?
He said no. Mark, Tom asked him that.
You know what I'm
He said it's all small claims.
What level of proof do I have?
You have nothing, because there's no, what else, what would they counter?
Well, they didn't counter it.
On yours. What would they counter is what I'm saying.
Nothing, just saying attorney's fees.
No, you'd never get that in small claims. There's no fucking attorneys.
So what happens when they lawyer up?
They can't lawyer up in small claims, and if they do lawyer up, it's still the same rules. There's no attorney's fees. That's what I'm saying. This guy's leaving out a big damn thing.
But it's just the HOA is billing him.
Well, if the HOA is billing him, I mean, the small claims court's got nothing to do with that.
Right.
But his call said he lost in small claims. That's what the call screener says.
He said there was a judgment in small claims.
For $9,000, that's not true.
Okay, can't be.
It's not true.
Let's call him on it. Let's do it.
Because you can only $7,500.
Look at, I'm not saying it. You heard him though, and it sounds totally.
I think you're right, Mark.
He's leaving something out.
The HOA is suing you for $9,000 on that.
They might have sued him in a different court.
I bet you they're not suing. I bet you they're just billing him.
They're billing him. Right,
He
they're
said
billing
a
him.
judgment showed up. Didn't he say
Let me tell you, there'd be no purpose in small claims if a company could do that.
Right.
There'd be no purpose for it.
You're right. Then we'd be out all the time.
Oh, you wouldn't. You'd go to sue somebody over $50, and you'd be terrified you got to have $20,000 of attorneys.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, I want you to bring all this up.
I'll bet you it's the HOA is billing him for $9,000. And I'll bet you that's in the bylaws.
A week later, a judgment shows up for $9,000.
I'll bet you he doesn't know what a judgment is.
And I'll bet you the HOA has that in their bylaws. That if you lose, you're responsible for attorney fees.
I'll bet you it is too.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing then.
Right. But
maybe in some form of arbitration.
Not arbitration.
Maybe they did a binding arbitration.
I bet you it's just a bill.
No, but he was saying he was reading. I don't know. We just got to ask him more questions.
Did he say name that law? What he was taking, or that HOA? We need to stand the HOA, man.
Well, I think he's getting billed by the HOA, and it's in the HOA bylaws that they can do that.
I agree. I'm sure that's what it is.
But
it's not a judgment. I don't think.
Right. It's not a judgment. It's a bill.
But I still don't understand. He said, did he say $1,300 worth of clothing?
Well, yeah.
And then he was going to do it in the whole $7,500.
Right.
That's, to me, right there makes his case.
But that's a moot point now.
Hey, is the guy on the car still up, AutoNation?
You were supposed to do that an hour ago.
We got to get him on. That guy's 83 years old.
Yeah.
He might not be alive in another fucking hour.
You were supposed to do the top of last hour.
Listen to this. A 92-year-old woman who we're friends with texted Suzanne and says, "Tell Mark, not all 83-year-olds can make good decisions." Or what the hell did she say? It was pretty good. Because I was saying the only reason I got involved in that problem is because he was 83. And she's like, "You probably shouldn't have got involved in it. He's a dumbass like the rest of them."
Did you hear what part of Trump's speech, he was talking about these illegal aliens committing crimes. Some illegal alien robbed and raped a 92-year-old woman
in New York.
Who would want to rape a 92-year-old woman?
I found that the oddest thing.
I mean, talk about...
And illegal. That's who.
Yeah. You got to be really hard up.
And how about health care for illegals? Tell me that's not just saying, "Hey, world, come over here when you're pregnant. Hey, world, come over here when you got the fucking snake virus.
You know what?
Hey, world, got cancer? Come on over."
You see them all just sit there.
I know, they're fucking
it's the fucking 14th Amendment that screwed it up, because that was originally meant for Indians, for Native Americans, and slaves. It was not meant for people to come over here and are born here.
It was the Supreme Court, so this is it. Supreme Court back in the 20s.
Right.
And this would give me John, who's the Chief Justice?
John Roberts.
He was the one that threw out part of the Obamacare, because he says that's not what they meant when they wrote it here. Well, that's not what they meant.
Let me think about it. I don't know.
Exactly.
I think
I don't know
the
if I
only
want
country in the world
sausage.
that does that.
No. Canada does that. No,
Really?
there's like
one?
Yeah. There's like 13 or 14. I thought that too, Doc. There's like 13 or 14 countries. But Canada.
They should make an amendment so that if your parents are not here legally,
you don't even have to amend them. You just got to have the Supreme Court relook at it.
Well, you just have to. People say if your parents are here illegally, you are not a citizen just because you're born here.
So here's the question. Here's the thing. Yeah. If you're here as like an ambassadorship, whatever, and your kids are born here, they are not covered by that.
Right. No, I think they are.
I don't think so. I thought I read that.
Was it a couple days ago or a couple years ago?
The
story.
The story occurred a couple days ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You might have to bet, Doc.
And then tomorrow.
But let me look at it first.
A couple.
Stand the HOA man.
Change the 14th Amendment.
It's not changed. You don't have to change.
Isn't that 2/3?
Redefine.
No,
that's a two.
Oh, you mean to change an
No,
amendment?
that's the added amendment. That's the added amendment.
Or to get rid of it.
I think to change an amendment's 2/3 of Congress.
No, the amendments are there.
Two-thirds rights.
It's the Supreme Court who defines.
No. But to take something out or add something.
Dan, it's like repeal of prohibition. You 2/3 of the
2/3. That's right.
Oh, it is 2/3 of the states
and 3/4 of the state legislatures.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
3/4?
3/4 of the state legislatures plus 2/3 of the state.
That's more than a supermajority in most cases.
If you get a historical status, to make any changes to that house.
That's why it took so long for the ERA to get passed.
But you're right. I totally on that 14th Amendment. That to me just
drives me crazy. They come over the border.
They're strict.
But what I'm saying, it was never meant for that. It was meant for slaves.
It was meant for Native Americans and slaves.
I didn't realize Native Americans were because I thought that.
Oh yeah, because they weren't English citizens.
Really? Before that?
What's the number you gave? It was. Can you give that to me again?
Yeah, it was meant for
through the
Native
ear,
Americans.
The number that you were telling Ron to call.
I knew the slaves made sense on that.
What the hell's the name of that one restaurant now? Damn it. What's the name of that one restaurant? I just booked it twice. Like Sally, what the hell's it called?
John Holly?
Yeah. You can just log in and look on Open Table.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255 is the number. The only show anywhere that truly addresses everyday aches and pains and issues and problems and questions and complaints and referrals. And I love making a referral to realcbdthatworks.com, Panacea Life Sciences. Right now, 20% off all products for the month of February. If you put Martino in the promo code, you just go to realcbdthatworks.com and put in Martino in the promo code, 20% off. Rick, Mark is saying he can't believe the story for several reasons. And for those tuning in, Rick says he had a ski locker, and the HOA lost track of who had ski lockers. So they broke into the ski lockers, took out the stuff, and either threw it away or sold it. Bottom line, he lost his ski locker and all the contents. The first problem with the story, let's go through the first problem. The first problem is, okay, he has no evidence that he ever owned it at all, except memory. Nothing else. There's no hard evidence. There's some newsletter talked about selling them.
I don't even care about that.
I
just
know,
care
but
about 9,000.
I'm outlining this for those listening. The other thing is that he said they lawyered up, and it remained in small claims court. Normally, the only way to lawyer up is how, Mark? Is to counterclaim. Explain that.
Well, generally, if you go after a big company, let's say you're going after Microsoft or something. Actually, that's a bad example.
Or Vectra Bank.
No, Vectra's not even a good example. A company that doesn't have a presence here, but they're a big company.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
For example, I want to use somebody I haven't sued. So let's say Sprint.
Okay.
Sprint's a big telephone company. They do have retail stores here, but if you sue them, they can ask the small claims court, hey, we don't have anybody that we want representing us in that state. Can we have an attorney? So they motion to the small claims court. They usually will get okay, yes, you can have an attorney come, but it's the exact same rules. There's no difference. It's the exact same rules of small claims court. The other way they can get an attorney involved is if they want to countersue you for more than $7,500. If they do that, it's automatically kicked up because jurisdiction is $7,500 in small claims court in Colorado.
Did they countersue you, Rick?
No, they did not.
Okay, so how did they introduce an attorney? What was the reason?
The HOA lawyers up at every possible opportunity. It's just the way they operate.
Well, let's just say they motion to the court, can we have our attorney show up? Okay.
Now what? Now did you go before a judge in small claims?
I did.
Okay. And the judge ruled against you.
Wait, they had a counterclaim at this point when you walked in, right?
No, he said they just showed up, I think.
Well, there was a motion for the attorney to be admitted, which I...
Yeah, but there was no counterclaim. They didn't sue you.
What county was it in?
Grand County.
I don't know, Grant. Did you have to go to mediation the day before?
No.
Okay, so you show up for court. Then what happens? There's no counterclaim? You're just suing them for the whatever it was?
And the attorney's fighting on their behalf?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so you put your case on, then the judge says what?
He said I didn't prove my case.
Okay.
The attorneys for the defendant asked for attorney's fees to be awarded.
Did he ask for it right at that time?
Yes.
And the judge said okay?
He said okay, but they didn't know what the amount was, and it took 2.5 months before the judge rendered his judgment.
And there was an actual judgment for attorney's fees?
Correct.
I want to see that. Can you send that over?
See, This is highly, if you think about this, this would be a shortcut way to stop small claims.
I still say we're missing something.
Well, it sounds like he unless he's out and out lying.
I don't think he's lying at all. I'm just saying something is different here. This isn't normal.
You know, it isn't normal. Otherwise, anyone going to small claims court would have to worry about attorney's fees.
Well, that's why I'm calling, because I'm wondering if I have any options other than just to pony up $9,000.
Send it over.
Send it over, and we'll have an attorney look at it as well. But this is truly weird. Now, did the judge use words frivolous or anything in his ruling?
Nope, not at all. He said I didn't prove my case, and another thing that was interesting was he said HOAs, by their very nature, are sloppy entities.
Who said that?
The judge.
Meaning what? That they're allowed to make mistakes?
Yes, that they weren't required to keep better records.
But then you understand, Rick, they don't have to keep records for what you were suing them for. Just so you know, I totally agree with the judge on this one as far as you losing. I don't think this $9,000 is fair, but you didn't prove your case. I mean, somehow you think you did because you know it was yours, but you know you didn't prove it. That just goes without saying. You just have a memory of buying this with absolutely no proof. I don't even know what was going through your head. What did you think would happen if you didn't prove it? What did you think was going to happen?
Well, I thought I had sufficient proof. I actually spoke with...
Give me the idea. Tell me the sufficient proof. What is it?
Well, I spoke with 2 attorneys before I went to court.
Yeah.
And one of them specifically said, you can hire me, but you don't need me.
Yeah, that was a way to kiss you off, Rick. Would you tell me what your strongest proof, what was your strongest evidence?
Well, the fact they made me an offer of $100.
You're not allowed to use settlement talks in court. That's not evidence. Tell me what your evidence was. Just one shred of evidence. One.
I used it without any incident for 15 years straight and other owners.
You can't even prove you used it for 15 years. Or they could say, so what? I mean, you did so without authorization. I'm not going to bore everyone else.
No, I really want to see that.
We have to see it, Rick. We have to see this judgment for attorney's fees, please. Do you have it in digital form, Rick?
Do I what?
Have it in digital form, this judgment?
I can.
Please.
Maybe
send it to us.
Maybe they produced something that he acknowledged to inside the HOA, saying if he did sue him and lost, he would have to pay attorney's fees. I mean, there's something different here.
No, he mentioned there's a statute for that, right, Rick?
That's what the attorney claims.
Do you remember the statute?
I would have to.
All right. Yeah, let's try altitude law and see what happens, although that could be one of the attorneys in this case. It could have been. Rick, do you recall if it was altitude law?
It is.
It is.
Tom, I just thought for asking about the 2020 statutes about the attorney's fees.
No, you can ask them, sure. You know, they're good. They're good people. They know what the hell they're doing.
Let's get them on as a general question. What happens if someone brings an HOA that is represented by somebody to small claims court? That's what I'd like to ask them. Let's not even bring this up. They'll never know this has anything to do with anything, and it doesn't. General question.
But it doesn't matter if it is or not. It's a public record, right? The court case was a public record, and it was already adjudicated.
I don't understand how you get $9,000 in small claims. I just don't understand it.
Are you talking because of the level of work?
I'm talking a $9,000 judgment, if that's what this actually is, in small claims court. It's $7,500.
I don't know, because it's not a small claims judgment. They're going to say it's an attorney fees judgment outside.
I've never heard of attorney's fees in small claims court.
Because I know. It does sound
Let's get them on it.
Pretty weird. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK. Mark Szymanski is with GenesisTotalExteriors.com. For some reason, he thinks stucco is hot. Why?
Oh, it's really popular right now. Stucco and
Why is it so popular? I love it, by the way. I love it.
I do too.
I like brick and stucco.
Yeah, and I even think a sharp look is either stone and stucco with real cedar on top of a house. That looks sharp too, especially got these little 50s Ramblers houses.
Is it high maintenance?
No. I mean, that's the great thing about stucco.
Here's
if it's
the problem
done right.
with stucco. It's either bulletproof or it's the most terrible siding.
Well, the EFIS system is...
Not just EFIS. If stucco's not done right, you're screwed.
You got to make sure you have all the right, you're using all the right parts.
But it's so difficult because so many people don't know what they're doing.
Right.
So I want to know, if you buy a stucco house, what do? You have to know what you're getting. And I have a special stucco inspector I use.
Yeah.
For stucco.
It's huge now, that whole industry, the stucco inspection.
And if you don't, you could end up, my God, with $100,000, $200,000 bill.
Yep.
More coming right up.
Weekdays 2 to 4. The Situation.
Mark has been waiting to talk to him about the car. Right, Mark?
What's that?
That 83-year-old guy before he dies, he's been hanging on for about...
They can't be. They absolutely.
You want to talk to him?
Yes, we got to update him.
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. That phrase, that website, that person is all you need to know in real estate to get the best results. If you're looking to list your home, he will clean it, organize it, he will get it ready for showing, and if you decide you don't want him after one day, he'll terminate the contract because he believes that you have to be happy through the whole process. And if you're looking to buy, the same thing. He holds no one to a long-term contract because he knows how good he is. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
It's right here, man. Listen.
What? You got the statute?
Here. This is called appearing pro se in person. Attorneys are allowed in small claims court, but the winning party in a small claims case cannot collect attorney's fees from the losing party.
No, you're right. Where is that? Is that Colorado? Or is that just general?
Well, it's general.
Okay.
But there'd be no purpose in small claims.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
I bet he didn't realize he's not in small claims court.
The judge?
Jesus Christ, can you turn that up a little more?
Yes.
Fees and low rates.
Here's another thing. He's got 14 days to appeal. He didn't get the bill for 3 months.
Yeah, but the dollar amount doesn't matter. He would just appeal the attorney.
But this guy then also...
He's missing something.
He's also the one who believes that he fucking proved his case.
No, but that's...
The funny part is I couldn't tell you what the case was besides they cut a lock off of a ski locker.
And sold his stuff. Or took his stuff.
It's so ridiculous.
And then, if it's sitting in a ski locker for how many years, what was the value of the coat and socks? $1,500? Yeah, right.
No, he says
Has he not been to Costco recently?
He says he's been using it continuously.
Own your home in half the time. Find out why it could
I think he was stubborn. That's what I think. And the judge said, fuck you.
And the amount was.
I read that. None of those have anything to do, and that's not small claims court.
Oh, it's not?
No. I read that exact article,
Which
but
one?
go up. Which one of those, I read this exact thing, which one of those possibly would have been,
I thought he said he had that statute.
in certain things you get legal fees
In the
by
HOA.
statute.
In the HOA.
No, but I'm talking Colorado law. And most of them have to do with divorce and shit like that.
You know the expression you use, Mark, on the earth?
There's, what's that?
There's an expression you use on the earth sometimes like glass.
What is it?
Said the way Toki Doke and Ben People.
Oh, yeah, man. Hell yeah.
I like that.
There's nothing there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought I wrote.
But it doesn't mean a judge can't give attorney's fees for other reasons. Dan, that just means those things right there, if you win, you get attorney's fees.
That's right. There's many of those statutes that
But everything I see on small claims court, you would never, you don't pay for the other thing.
Right, especially that where you ripped. Did you cut that out?
No, I've already moved it.
So what is your explanation?
Well, until he said, okay, I don't want to say he's lying, but he's wrong. I'll say that. Something else happened. Something else transpired.
I'll bet you, Mark.
I bet he wasn't in small claims court. You want to know the truth? I bet he doesn't even realize he was in a fucking court.
But they wouldn't automatically move it up.
Tom, I have never heard of small claims court doing anything they said.
I think he told us it was some statute that allows for attorney's fees.
For HOAs. Because it's probably the HOA bylaws.
No, not the HOA bylaws. I mean a statute that I remember.
No way. Not in small claims court, though, is all I'm saying.
Even if it did allow.
I don't give a fuck.
Even if it allowed for.
You can't do anything over $7,500. I mean, if you're saying the judgment, to me that's still a judgment. You got to pay attorney's fees. Why wouldn't they cap them at $7,500? Here's the problem. Not one of our attorneys on our referral list has any fucking idea about small claims court. You got to get a magistrate or somebody. Where? Is this small claims though? What are we looking at?
Yes.
No, where's it say small claims court? This is anything.
No, this is.
No, the winning side usually has to pay its own attorney's fees.
The winning side usually has to pay its own.
In small claims, there's generally no attorney. I'm just saying this has nothing to do with small claims.
Yes, it does. Yeah. This is what. This is where I got it, right there.
Okay, we'll go back to it.
Where did I go? This is the same one, isn't it?
This report is sponsored by Westera Credit Union.
Can I bring a lawyer to small claims? Keep looking here. This is all small claims, though.
If I sue my HOA, can I be liable for legal fees?
Need funds to help pay for what's important to you? College, a wedding, a new kitchen. Westera Credit Union.
The reason they never bring up attorneys is they're not supposed to be fucking there.
No,
the only reason an attorney can actually enter there is to act as a stupid person. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. They can show up and make an argument, but the legalese mean nothing.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-8255. We have had a pretty darn egregious car deal that we looked at. You know, maybe egregious isn't the word. I would say I would be so pissed off if this was my brother, sister, aunt, uncle, father, mother. Oh, my God. Because Ed bought a car, and it was like $8,000 in extras. There was paint protectant and fabric protectant and windshield protection and a bumper protection.
Service plan.
A service plan. It all came out to be about $7,600 or something. Then his car that he traded in, it was conservatively worth 10 to 12 grand, conservatively wholesale. And they paid him like $5 or $6 grand on that. Why? Ed, what do we have now? Mark,
well, he doesn't know. I have the update.
Did you call the corporation?
Yeah, I handled it, and honestly, we have what we call an Ainger over there, or a back line. So here's the deal. Here's what I got back. I'll read it. I'm going to leave out a few things, but I spoke with the GM of our Honda store, and they are more than willing to assist the customer in removing some or all of the products that were attached to the vehicle. So whatever you don't want on there, and here's the thing we never really talked to him about, what does he want? I mean, I still don't understand from the conversation really what he wants. The price for the vehicle he bought wasn't bad. The trade-in, he negotiated that. I don't know what to say about the trade-in.
He's 83 years old, and he negotiated nothing.
Yeah, but I don't know the condition of the car that was traded in. I don't know, Tom.
Hey, Ed?
Yes?
Let's make this very simple.
Here's what they're pledging. If you go back there and talk to the GM, okay?
Just tell him you don't want any of that extra stuff.
Tell him you don't want any of the extra stuff, and even bring up, hey, I'm not very happy with what you gave me for the trade, if that is how you feel. And
first, definitely get all the extras.
Bring somebody with you, and if you have absolutely no one to bring with you, I will go with you.
Now, Ed?
Yes?
Do you know what we mean when we say get all those extras taken off?
Not for sure, no.
Okay, you know what the know what the car is. You bought the car, right?
Yes.
You know what is not the car. Like, for example, if it's windshield protection, you're smart enough to know that's not part of the car, the actual windshield protection, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay, what about your service plan, or what about your fabric protection or your paint protection?
The $3,600 one was vehicle protection plan, and then vehicle car protection was $500. Appearance protection was $1,100.
Yeah.
Protection.
What
was
the hell is
$1,000.
appearance protection if you already have the other protections? Do you understand?
Interior,
Ed,
maybe.
All of those protection things. In fact,
no.
You spent an extra $7,500 on Mop and Glow.
Ed, do you understand how much extra you were popped there on your deal?
No.
He doesn't understand anything.
Do you have a youngin that can go with you, or what, man? Just tell us now.
Do you have any kids?
Yes.
How old are they?
60.
Well, let's see. He's about 45, 48.
Does he know what he's doing?
Are
you?
I love that answer.
Ed, do you guys get along? Do you talk to him?
Thank you. No.
Do you talk to him?
Yes, I talk to him.
Who are you talking to there right now?
His wife.
His wife.
Yes.
How old is she?
81.
81. Well,
were you there during the first deal?
She's been there the whole time.
Well, okay, so that's
listen, Ed, I need someone who can help you. You know what?
I'll go.
We need someone to go with.
I'll go. Listen, Suzanne's going to get your info. I'll call you offline, and maybe we go down. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, man.
No, you need someone to go with you.
But here's what I still need to know.
And we need to do this quickly.
You're going to keep the car. We're going to get rid of $7,500 off the contract. Is that acceptable? I need to have a goal.
Yeah, that's right. In other words, we don't want to waste our time, Ed. Why did you call originally?
Well, okay, because I got to looking at all of the paperwork and all of the numbers, and the numbers that are on the first pages showed that didn't jive.
Okay.
Yeah, but go past that in your mind. What are you looking for?
Ed, what did you want when you called us? What did you need help with?
I need to have somebody to interpret the 75 pages of verbiage that I was looking at.
Ed, did you feel, before you called us, did you feel you paid too much, or you didn't get enough for your trade?
I just thought I couldn't figure out how much the new one cost.
Okay, Ed, that's the answer. You couldn't even figure out what you bought, could you?
That's right.
Now,
that's right.
I don't mean this. Hold on, Ed. What did you do for a living, by the way?
Pardon me?
What did you do for a living?
I was the sales manager for Gardner Denver Company.
For what's that?
Well, heavy machinery, petroleum equipment.
Okay, Ed. If you sold somebody a piece of machinery, they paid for the machinery and went their merry way, right?
That's right.
Okay. Now think about this. What if you sold someone a piece of machinery for $10,000 and you add the tax to it and they went away for $12,000, right? You, in your situation, let's say it's like this. If you sold someone machinery for $10,000 with $2,000 in taxes, that's $12,000. Now add to that. Just keep adding to that other stuff that they call protection. And they say, hey, you need to protect that piece of equipment in case one of the tires goes bad, or in case this happens or that happens. And you add all that stuff up, and it becomes a substantial amount of money. What you did is spent a substantial amount of money on top of the car purchase that we believe was not worth it. I'm not saying it was illegal. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense for you at your age to buy all that protection. That money is better kept with you, okay? Don't pay that.
Amen.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the problem. Because you spent so much extra money, I don't know what they're going to do with your loan, because your loan is more than you need, way more.
But the payment to you doesn't matter right now, right? The payment amount per month is not an issue?
Well, I don't know how much I owe.
Well, hold on. What we're asking, Ed, is before you called us, that monthly payment, do you know what your monthly payment was going to be?
No.
You had no idea.
Let's see.
How much income do you guys have every month?
Just Social Security.
Mark, they don't even have enough.
They must have qualified for it somewhere, somehow.
Mark, if the guy, okay, how would they qualify for it? It's easy to qualify.
I have no idea.
It's easy to qualify if somebody puts some numbers down that he signed. Did you make out a finance contract? Did you make out an application for a loan, or did you just sign?
How much? Wait, do you both get maximum Social Security each month?
I don't know what I signed.
Let's have him come down to the station. Let's sit down and talk to this guy.
Ed, I want you and your wife to come down and say hi to us. What part of town do you live?
Westminster.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
We're in the tech center. You know where that is, right?
Used to live down there.
Okay. Hey, Ed, you and your wife together, how much does that come to your Social Security every month?
Oh, that won't. We know we've got a little bit of income, money saved and so forth.
Ed, I'm not asking about money saved. I'm talking about every month right now, without going into savings, every single month, how much money flows into your household? How much money every month?
Let's go for
just
about $3,500.
About 35, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's both. They get $3,500 a month, Mark. All right. So here we have to help you, okay? Ed, listen, man. This is why my show exists. If anyone is listening to this show and they say, "What do you do?" This is what we do, Ed. We help people. You have no idea what you're doing. First of all, Ed, really, you shouldn't have been buying a car if you didn't understand it. Shame on you, because you're in your 80s. You know better than that. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I'm this young whippersnapper, snot-nosed, 66 years old. I shouldn't be telling you that. You should know better. Now, really, if you don't understand, and I want this in the future, if someone knocks at your door, if someone tries to sell you something, if someone tries to get you to invest, if someone tries to get you to do anything, I don't want you doing it unless you understand each and every detail. Don't do it. You call us, okay? You call us.
Right.
Who told you to call us to begin with, by the way? I'm curious.
Well, I've heard of your Mr. Martin.
Yeah, Martino. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad you heard of me.
Mr. Rivera.
Ed, I'm glad you heard of me. Ed, thank you for calling. We're going to help you. Mark is going to get down and dirty with this. Let's have him come here. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. This is why I do what I do.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now.
You've got to help me, Doc. You can't speak in a normal voice in the studio. Ever, okay? Just basically ever, unless you're on mic. Really, it's just a bad habit we've gotten into. Please don't talk when I'm talking on the air. When the mic is off, the mic was on, and you're talking to Mark about something. No, because you don't know, it's better just never to do it unless you're on the air or you know that I'm off the air like this. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. I know you're not doing it on purpose. Otherwise, I'd really be pissed. Of course you're not doing it on purpose. But we have to really. No. Dan, we all do it, but we have to really be careful.
I agree.
It sounds like shit.
Now it's time to interrupt you.
Everybody's talking, and people are at home trying to listen out of a little box.
With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW.
It's just a pain in the ass.
Hell, I'll buy that truck.
A wedding, a new kitchen.
$6 grand.
Their credit union can help
He
pay
had a
equity line of credit.
what was the name of it? What are those trucks?
Honda Ridgeline was it?
Ridgeline. 50,000 miles. It's 2007.
All right, got it. MileHighEstatePlanning.com is Blake Harris's law firm, and we recommend everyone there that needs a will, or they need a trust, or any kind of a vehicle for their estate. If you are looking for anything to do with an estate, even if you don't think you need an estate plan, you probably need a will or something. Here's the important message, okay? Blake Harris will sit down with you free of charge for an initial consultation and go over your entire estate. If all you need is a will, they can do that. If you want to protect your assets even after you're gone so your kids don't squander it, or to leave it for your wife, you need Blake Harris, attorney at law. Night and weekend appointments, convenient, free parking at Union Station. He also has offices in Boulder and Colorado Springs. They can do everything from trusts to administering a will to probate to any form of estate planning. MileHighEstatePlanning.com, 720-924-6171.
Are you nearing retirement or have you retired?
No, I'm looking at this.
What's
Small
that?
claims, he might have to pay attorney fees.
Now, what are you looking at?
Well, I'm going to print the whole thing out.
Is it for HOA specifically?
Well, what it says, a contract provision calls for payment of attorney fees, or a statute specifically requires payment of attorney's fees.
Yeah, and I think that statute.
And I assume this. I'm going to print this out now. I can't do it here.
I think the statute he was referring to
is the one that goes.
Is the one that. Remember that guy Stan, the HOA man, told us. He said, "Man, this is a bad situation."
But 9,000 seems quite excessive for this. I bet you he didn't do much preparation for this.
I saw a story online, Colorado. 70-year-old Loveland woman loses home that is not paying HOA.
I want to have that as a discussion, not now, but it's really, I like having those. Could you send that to me? Help@troubleshooter.com. Can you forward that?
This one?
Help@troubleshooter.com.
But I will bet you on that. She's got years and years of dues not paid.
Oh my God, we have so much shit going on.
But this is the attorney fees. This is definitely unique. I mean, I've never would have thought. Small claims court.
9,000 seems excessive. I mean, how are you going to justify $9,000 worth of charges?
Well, he was suing for $7,500. That seems excessive, also. If it's old stuff in there and stuff. And then he didn't understand it, that, like, say, because they offered him $100 to settle, that he could use that in court as if they said they were guilty. I mean,
I wonder where this was. I know he said grand.
Okay, I understand this 100%.
Which one, Mark?
The HOA.
Okay, good. How do you do that? How do you understand it 100%?
I talked to an attorney.
Okay, good.
and it's what I got right here, right?
I talked to the attorney that got the judgment.
Good. Good.
But that, it's all because of this, right? This is it.
No, nothing to, well, I didn't even read that, so I don't want to say no.
A statute specifically requires payments of attorney's fees by
Right here. No. Yeah, well, yeah, either of these.
Yeah,
The top and
I know,
bottom.
I
That's
know.
it. In fact, here it is right here. Here's
Like I say, it's
here's the bylaws. In other words, he agreed. I even use the example here. Since we're already talking about it, it doesn't matter. The only reason it's here is when he moved into that neighborhood. In the HOA, he agreed to pay for attorney's fees.
Right.
So he...
There's no statute.
No, almost any other case, unless if me and you had an agreement that if I ever take you to court, the loser pays attorney's fees.
But he got a judgment, though.
No, it wasn't a judgment. It's different. The maximum judgment is $7,500. Attorney's fees are completely different.
But he said it was a judgment.
It's not, though.
Right.
It's
That's
attorney's
okay. That's
fees.
how what we had said.
Yeah, but it is a judgment for attorneys.
Yeah, correct. But it's not. Yeah,
it's not.
But it's in the bylaws.
But yeah, so if he wasn't part of this,
right,
he'd never get attorney's fees.
Right.
And I even went out of the way to ask him. I said, so if I sue AT&T because their phone's a piece of shit, and they send an attorney in, which they will, there's no way they could get attorney's fees.
Unless when you sign up for the phone.
No, they wouldn't even have that. They couldn't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
HOAs have a little bit of
And he just
clout.
said that because you didn't sign for it in the agreement.
Yeah.
That's what he said. So this
That's
thing
what
is
I said from the beginning.
I tell you what, this is a big learning experience
Yeah,
right
in the
here.
bylaws.
But
Well,
the HOA thing
but
is a tough deal.
is there?
No, we gotta. We never want to give advice.
Right.
I don't think we ever have. But to go sue an HOA.
I tell people never sue an
right,
HOA.
because
I don't tell them.
because
I
you're
say you'll
using-
never win.
You're using your own money.
I know.
Well, not only that, you're not going to win because I mean they're pretty straightforward.
Hi, Tom Martino here. You know, there's a reason we tell people. Whenever somebody calls and wants to sue an HOA, what do I always say? Don't do it. You're fighting with your own money because all they have to do is assess their memberships, and you always end up losing. Even if you win, you lose. It's a losing proposition. Rick found that out the hard way. He took on his HOA, and he took them on for the case isn't even that important at this point. Although I do believe it was hopeless anyway to begin with. So and remember this, people, don't ever go to small claims court just because. And you're hoping, well, just because I'm pissed off, blah blah. Don't do it. If you don't have a case, if you don't have some kind of claim that you can support, don't go.
Yeah, and in this particular one, if he won,
sued the HOA and lost, the attorneys came back and got a judgment for attorney's fees, $9,000.
Let's say he could have proved it was a locker and made any case whatsoever and won, even if it was $1, not $1,400, he wouldn't have had to pay attorney's fees because when he moved into that place, he agreed that the court shall award up to the prevailing party attorney's fees. He agreed to that. That's why.
Rick, that's why you paid, not because of some statute. So we wanted to clear that up for you.
Well, actually, the bylaws don't say that.
Well, I'm reading them. I happen to have the bylaws.
Page 321, or book 321, page 131.
No, I just got one page here, man.
It was just sent.
Basically, it says...
It was sent to us.
Here's what it says. Enforcement limitations. If any person subject to owner fails to timely pay assessments or any money or sums due to the association may require reimbursement. Then it goes on to the next page. The court shall, if someone brings someone to court, the court shall award the party prevailing on such claim the prevailing party's reasonable collection cost and attorney's fees.
Well, okay, Rick, that's your HOA. So why did you say they don't mention attorney's fees?
Well, what I'm reading is it says failure to comply.
Did you read every word?
I did.
It's just a prevailing party. I mean, that's all.
Did you read about lawsuits? Did you read the part about lawsuits?
This actually doesn't mention.
Mark, obviously you're not reading the same section we are. The problem is we were just sent one part of it, so we don't know where it falls. And by the way, the party that sent it to us would not lie to us about it.
No.
They really would not send us another HOA saying it was
Here's
yours.
what it says. For each claim or defense, including but not limited to counterclaims, blah, 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 in any legal proceeding to enforce or defend the provisions of this article or the declarations, bylaws, articles, or rules and regulations, the court shall award the prevailing party. It's right there. This is your bylaws.
So, Rick, sorry about that, man. You're out $9,000, bro.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
You know what sucks, too, is if he won, his attorney's fees would have been like $8 because it was him. Lopsided.
Now, John, you're claiming, John is disagreeing with you, Mark, and claiming you can get attorney's fees even if it's not an HOA thing. Now, what do you mean,
No.
John? John, what do you mean?
Tom, I had that same. I was in small claims court. I was the plaintiff.
Who did you sue?
Well, I don't want to say his name, but it was someone who he's actually an attorney, and I couldn't get another attorney to take the case. He said it was only $12,000. I had been charged for things like attempting to call the client on a Sunday, time and time again. Those were my invoice. I mean, you're talking $12,000 it came to. But I went to court in Georgetown. We went to arbitration.
Did you go to small claims court?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For how much money?
Well, I had to reduce the amount because to qualify.
And then what happened in court?
Well, in arbitration, the arbitrator, the mediator, his name is Johnny. I don't believe I remember his last name. He said that either side, because the fellow I was suing is an attorney, and he was bludgeoning me with that it was going to cost me even more if I dared to stand up about this. And the arbitrator agreed that yes, you get your expenses, or in my case, I would get my expenses, which, as you just pointed out, would be virtually, it'd be like my hourly rate of $25 an hour.
Well, anyway, what happened? Did you lose?
What happened was the case was dismissed because I could not get an attorney, a licensed professional like that. You have to get another licensed professional to give what they call a certificate of, saying that your case is not frivolous. And I could not get another attorney to do that.
Hold on a second. What are you talking about? You have to get something saying it's not frivolous. Why would you have to get something that says it's not?
That is a state law, Tom.
It is not. For what? For suing an attorney or for suing anyone?
No, for any certain classes of licensed professionals, including attorneys, physicians.
So okay. I'm not sure I understand you. You're saying
no choice except to make a very unsatisfactory bargain about the deal.
John, I want to make this clear. You're saying that in order to sue a licensed professional or a certain type of licensed professional, there are statutes that say you can't even sue them without a certificate from another one saying it is not frivolous.
Right.
You got to show me that statute. Really, we need to know that one. I never heard of it.
Impact traffic.
We have a report of a rollover accident westbound I-70 approaching Peoria.
Well, let's think about this.
I have never heard of that.
Let's think about this. I have sued in 2 years 10 different companies that are on the goddamn, what is it, the fucking,
whatever.
The S&P 500 or whatever. I have never paid one attorney's fees, period. But maybe the difference is this. I'm always fucking right when I do it.
Yeah, but they don't go to court, Mark. You never went to court.
No, I've been to arbitration, though.
Well, I know, but you never
time.
went to court. No. There are no attorney's fees without court. There aren't. You have to have court.
You're right. You settled prior to going to court.
As far as statutes,
I'm telling you, I've never fucking heard of paying attorney's fees. I understand this. I have no idea what this guy's talking about.
Oh, he's going to send his judgment.
Okay, guys.
No, we don't even need it now. This one we understand.
The Art of Granite is the place to go for natural stone countertops. or any solid surface. He's a direct stone importer, Mitch Floria. They get in granite and quartz in raw form and fabricate it for you. They only charge wholesale for all materials. They tear out and haul away free. They do the bathroom free when you have the kitchen done. So what you're paying for is the fabrication and installation. In fact, it's so simple, you can get a price on the phone. 303-386-5919. TheArtOfGranite.com.
What's that? This is him. How old were you then?
47.
2000. That's me in 2007.
2007.
Yeah, 47.
That's who?
Mark, can the arbitrator award?
Is this were you on what did they do with the Denver Post?
Oh,
surviving.
No. So really, the judgment was just a bill for it.
It's saying the story.
The George syndrome. So your body can't store.
You said there's only 1,500 in the world?
Hey,
Holy
it's called
cow.
a certificate of review, and it's when you sue licensed professionals or something. This
God
is
almighty.
what was based on the
We are
attorney's
learning
fees.
so
Do you want to
much.
see this? You want me to give it to Mark?
Yeah, look at it.
Oh, gosh.
When you sue a licensed professional,
Or something like that.
So a dog.
Here's
So,
what it
you know
says.
I'm blonde, Dan. I only get
Actions
most
against
licensed,
licensed
right?
professionals.
And he sued his attorney.
Certificate.
Oh, he
required.
sued his own
Yes,
attorney.
that's who he sued.
Well, he kind of fucking left that out.
Sure
He
did.
said he told Tom that.
No, it's,
Oh,
He mentioned it.
But Mark,
I heard
Mark,
him sue attorney.
but
not
he
his
said
attorney.
it's not just attorney. He says any licensed professional.
Well, what does that mean?
That's what.
So a fucking plumber? If I sue a plumber, I got to do this?
Actions against
We will
licensed
have to do it quick, but I can have Mark.
What the fuck is that?
certificate of review required.
Suck it. I
In
mean, like,
every
I don't,
action
I'll
for
take the
damages
pictures and
or
all, but Mark or
indemnity
Dan can
based
help you,
upon
okay?
the alleged
After the show, we're almost
professional
done.
negligence of a licensed professional.
What the so to sue a talk show host? Are you a licensed fucking professional?
No, I'm not a licensed professional.
No,
How about a plumber?
plumber would be, yeah.
Plaintiff's attorney.
Right.
He's so I can't sue a general contractor?
Let him
Listen
listen
to
to
this.
Let him finish reading.
The complainant's attorney shall file with the court a certificate of review for each licensed professional named as a party. You have to, it says, so for each one you need a separate certificate within 60 days after service, and unless the court determines that a longer period is, okay, 60 days or longer, a certificate of review shall be filed with respect to every action described. And it says, in the event the failure to file a certificate, blah, 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 a licensed professional defending the claim believes that an expert is necessary to prove the claim, the defense may
Oh,
move.
yeah,
Anyway.
she's out on Wednesdays, Roger.
But it doesn't say what the review
Pardon
is.
me,
It doesn't say
Tommy,
what.
Would you dash Rick's hopes and dreams? And he wants to know, does he have any other options on line 4? Just dash his hopes and dreams and tell him he's totally screwed.
No.
There are no other
But,
options.
so he sued the HOA and the attorney?
No,
Different guy, different dude.
Different caller.
It's because he sued an attorney. There's some carve out.
Yeah, but
Keep up, Dan.
it's any licensed professional.
Well, okay,
Mark.
that can't. Okay, I can fucking grant Dan a
I
license.
didn't
I
write-
can go to Chuck E. Cheese and literally get a license to drive a fucking toy car.
No.
I think it's a license by the state because it's under regulations of licensed
This is- you
professionals in
have
the
doctor's
state
card?
of Colorado.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say what the certificate of review is.
Well, I'm sure you can look that up.
I want to look up 13-20-602. Okay.
Hold on. Colorado.
Yeah.
Go ahead. 13.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. John, is this a new John or is this the old John? Or John, did we already talk to you, right? Yeah, I got this, sir. I got this law. Did you send this to us? It says a certificate of review required. It doesn't say what. It doesn't say what the certificate of review has to include. That's the part of this law. I don't know why they don't say it, but really it basically...
Because they stacked the deck against the little guy, Tom. Now you know that.
They sure as hell did, because it says it actually says any licensed professional and acupuncturist, which is weird, but it's any... It says against license. But Mark had a question. What is a licensed professional?
Well, what I did was, an attorney obviously is licensed by the state Supreme Court, but I got other attorneys verbally to tell me that they thought my case was not without merit, that the only reason they declined it is because they were looking for $250,000 cases, and mine was maybe, $12,000.
But also,
so
listen,
it was ridiculous. So they told me verbally. So I filed one, and I said, this is my certificate of review. But the judge said, no, that's not good enough, John. And it's all, it's very weird.
So basically, you can't, the little guy cannot sue a professional unless another professional says it's okay.
Probably over professional services.
They said it okay.
Of course, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying if your neighbor happens to be a lawyer and he knocks down your fence, I don't think this would come in.
No, it says this. Listen to this, Mark. It says specifically a licensed professional, and it says the file, it's for any claims against their actual, basically what they do. Yes. So obviously. Yeah. But wait a minute. How many people who are licensed professionals could move for a dismissal immediately because they don't have this?
Yeah, they probably always do.
Every single plumber, every single person ever.
No, I can't imagine that's for a plumber.
It says licensed professional. No?
Are
they licensed?
Well, I'm sure they're licensed.
You know what, Suzanne? We need someone to interpret this law for us, because Mark seems to think a licensed professional has a definition that isn't, it is, and it's not mentioned here.
How about a guy with a CDL? Is he a licensed professional driver? What, I mean, where does it stop?
I'll bet you, if we look up before this law, it might define it.
Let me see it.
Well, I want to discuss this law on another show. I'm really serious, because it does knock the legs out. And by the way,
but it makes sense in a lot of ways. Doc was a doctor.
Suzanne,
can you imagine someone suing doctors over $20 or something?
We did not avoid Keith intentionally. It's not a big deal, but he can come back on tomorrow. And Genesis Total Exteriors, any specials for us, by the way? I just want to say that before I go back to Rick. Go ahead. Anything at all. GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509. By the way, we really love this guy so much that we send him out as our expert when we have questions about quality or work. What do you got?
So, I mean, we got, right now, we do free gutter cleaning.
And if you're too busy, you might be too busy for specials.
I mean, it's kind of a crazy time of year, but, yeah. I mean, so, yeah, we can do a $99 special on gutter cleaning.
Okay.
On a single-story house. Free roof inspections always.
Yes.
Yep, and so stuff like that.
And it's safe to say you can put all of the storm on one estimate. You can
we do the whole thing.
The roof, the windows, the gutters, the fencing, you should recommend, by the way, because this is one thing that public adjusters find.
Matt Stafford and I work very close together.
Because they find all the extra stuff.
Yeah, we've been on the show together.
How many people don't find all the extra stuff? They just say, oh, I need a roof. Have you ever been to a house where they think they only need a roof and you saw the windows were pelted to hell?
All the time.
And they say, wait a minute.
One of the great
I didn't know the frame on that window counted.
One of the great ones, we had a roof and they had cedar siding. We got the whole house cedar siding replaced because it was damaged by hail.
I know.
All the siding was replaced.
People don't realize that chips out of the window frame can get you a new window frame or a new window. Now, Rick, you want to know, is there any hope to get out of this attorney fee thing for $9,000? This is terrible. And by the way, I feel for you, okay? Even though I think the case, blah, 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 to get hit with $9,000, that's devastating, even if you didn't prove your case. Why should you be penalized that much, right? Rick, here's what I think. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Yeah, I think you need to negotiate directly with the law firm.
I don't think they will do that.
Well, it's worth a try. They're not heartless. The law firm, no, really, they're not. They might want to negotiate or payments. Man, I don't know what your financial situation is, but $9,000 is a lot of money.
It is.
Look, there's always bankruptcy, but that would be if you're truly, truly in a world of hurt, you know, with other debt. But you're asking, is there any other option? Really, I don't know of any. I mean, when you're socked with a judgment for attorney's fees, that's from the courts, man. And they can start garnishing. You better wait for that one. They can start taking it from you. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget referralist.com and save all your problems for me.
It's officially 2020 primary season, and the critical new hit.
Lately, these shows have been crazy.